Take the exit. Turn right into the drive-thru.
Nope, I'm making dinner tonight.
You don't have time. Josh has practice.
Oh, that's right. I'll just get a salad.
And fries?
No, just the salad.
But salad cancels fries.
Salad only.
Fries.
Salad.
Fries.
Food noise isn't fair, but Mochi Health is. The affordable GLP-1 source that puts you on the road to successful weight loss.
Hey, can I get the...
Fries.
Salad. Sorry.
Learn more at joinmochi.com. Mochi members have access to licensed physicians and nutritionists. Results may vary.
Fresh air, longer days, a chance to reset. This season, let therapy be part of your spring cleaning. Clearing mental clutter, shaking off stuckness, and building something better. Grow Therapy helps you get there. Whether it's your first time in therapy or your 15th, Grow makes it easier to find a therapist who fits you, not the other way around. They connect you with thousands of independent licensed therapists across the U.S., offering both virtual and in-person sessions, nights and weekends. You can search by what matters, like insurance, specialty, identity, or availability, and get started in as little as 2 days. And if something comes up, you can cancel up to 24 hours in advance at no cost. There are no subscriptions, no long-term commitments. You just pay per session. Grow helps you find therapy on your time. Whatever challenges you're facing, Grow Therapy is here to help. Grow accepts over 100 insurance plans, including Medicaid in some states. Sessions average about $21 with insurance, and some pay as little as $0 depending on their plan. Visit growtherapy.com/booknow to get started. That's growtherapy.com/booknow. growtherapy.com/booknow. Availability and coverage vary by state and insurance plan.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Crime in Sports.
Yay!
Oh, yay indeed, Jimmy. Yay indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmie Whisman.
Thank you, folks, so much for joining us again on another crazy edition of Crime in Sports. We're going to start a small couple-parter here. Don't know if it's going to be 2 or 3 parts, but we will find out. Just a fun one, and we're going to get it's 80s, 90s basketball, which is always fun. NBA from that time is a good time, and just one of those guys that's like wouldn't exist in any other era, put it that way. It's just a fun story. So we'll get into all that and more. First, though, you definitely want to head over to shutupandgivememurder.com. Get all your merchandise. There's new stuff up all the time. Everything from coffee cups to skateboards on there. And get your tickets for small town murder shows as well. If you're listening this week, you can still get tickets to Denver on Saturday night, May the 2nd. And then if not, there's I don't even know. I think there's like 10 tickets left for Royal Oak, Michigan.
And Denver doesn't have a lot either left.
No, there's not a lot.
It's slim
in Denver
pickings. You better hurry.
I just mean there's like under 20 left in there. I saw it last night, so they've probably gone now, I would assume. But if not, Royal Oak, Michigan, and then Milwaukee, Minneapolis, Dallas, San Jose, Sacramento, Terrytown. Get your asses to a live show. We can't wait to hang out with you there. Then get yourself Patreon. That's the real deal here. Anybody $5 a month or above, you are going to get your money's worth. That'll tell you what. You are going to get, first of all, everything we put out. You're going to get, as soon as you subscribe, a back catalog of bonus episodes you've never heard before. Hundreds of them, almost 400 as a matter of fact.
Unbelievable.
Then you get new ones every other week, 1 Crime in Sports and 1 Small Town Murder, and you get it all, everybody. So that's what it is. And on top of that, you also get everything we put out all ad-free with your Patreon, all the regular shows, Crime in Sports, Your Stupid Opinion, Small Town Murder, and you get a shout-out at the end of the show as well. Jimmie will mispronounce your name. You can't beat it. This week, what you're going to get for Crime in Sports on Patreon, we're going to do personal ads again. It's that time. It's been a good 6 or 8 months, I think, since we did personal ads. So it is definitely time for those. Let's find out how people used to find each other back in the day through the newspaper.
What are the keywords? I wish we had responses, like
that'd be
the
great.
Numbers. I'd love to see what do you call that? The numbers, like the what do you call that?
What do you mean, the numbers?
The numbers.
Phone number?
I'm not giving you anything.
Phone number, maybe. I'm real curious. I really want to know.
Yeah, like there's a word that I'm looking. Somebody somebody listening right now is going
screaming it. Screaming it right now, walking their dog, going, "You fucking moron!" Scaring their dog while it's trying to shit. It's going to be hilarious.
When you get...
You work on that. I'll finish this up here. Small Town Murder Patreon this week is a choice. It's going to be a poll that we're putting up that you can vote on. Either that new FLDS documentary, what is that?
It's so
called?
good.
The False Prophet.
Yeah.
Or an Internet Salad episode where we talk about all things that are going on in the world, minus politics, because I think you hear enough about that shit. So one or the other, you pick. Either way, the next one will be after that. So enjoy. Great. That is patreon.com/crimeinsports is where you get all of that and more. So did you find that yet? What you're looking for?
No, I'm never going to find the word. What are when you
Analytics. Yes, see what the responses are. The numbers, the analytics. That makes sense.
Yeah, what are the keywords that people use that affected the analytics of the responses? I'd love to know that.
I would love to know that too. Yeah, absolutely. And which one? Some of them you're like, no one's calling that.
No.
Some of them we see.
Somebody go.
No.
She must cook and be a 10. Okay, you're getting no response.
By the way, I'm 5'4". I weigh 280 pounds, and I'm 53. But I want a girl who's between 21 and 27.
And I'm tired of my mom's cooking, who lives upstairs.
By the way, you're gonna have to get along with her pretty well. She's kind of picky. All right, let's get into this here with our guy of the week here, Quintin Dailey.
Yeah,
nickname of Q. Very creative with all the people out there. Nicknames.
There was a Q that played for the Suns. 15 years later, named Quintin. They just called him Q.
There's just not a lot of guys with Q in their name. So if you're a Q, you're getting Q, and that's it.
That's it.
Just like Xavier McDaniel was X-Man, because how many other fucking guys' names start with X in the NBA?
I don't think there was any at all.
Probably not. So Quintin Dailey here, Dailey. He is just an interesting, crazy, tragic story. We'll get into it, but this guy was supposed to be, like, he was the next that guy.
Yeah.
Like, when he was coming out of college, Jordan was still a freshman at North Carolina or what. I don't even know if he was a freshman yet, but in '82. But he was going to be what they thought of Jordan later. Like, that was Quintin Dailey.
And he was
great shooter.
A shooting guard?
Yeah, shooter and he's a 2. Just a great shooter and great to the rim. He was nasty. Yeah. Only 6'3", not like a Jordan 6'6", but still 6'3" can do fine if you can.
A lot of people say Jordan isn't even 6'6" anyway.
A lot of people. Nobody is what they're listed as in the NBA. No. Absolutely nobody. No, I told you. I met Charles Barkley and we're the same size. Yeah. I mean, he's 3 of me wide, but literally in the shoulders. But we're the same. We look eye to eye. The same height.
There's this kid that just went undrafted from Vandy, and they say he's 5'9".
Exactly.
He's 5'7" at best. He is so little.
Good luck. Yeah. Good luck out there.
Yeah.
Short quarterbacks
and he's arrogant
have done
and shitty
so well in the NFL. There's been a few short quarterbacks that can hack it, but it's few and far between.
There's been one. Right?
A couple. Russell Wilson's pretty small for a quarterback.
He's still 6 foot.
Is he 6? There you go. Jeff Garcia.
They say he's 6'1".
So he's 5'11".
He might be 5'10", 5'11".
Yeah. Jeff Garcia, they said, was 5'11". He was probably 5'9". I mean, Doug Flutie obviously is the real. He's
the good one.
A real short guy. Actually, he's like 5'6". So that's really small for quarterback.
But the difference between then and now is the
line's taller.
The line has gone so big.
The linemen are 6'6".
Right.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray is terrible at playing quarterback because he's so he can't get over them.
Well, you would need to drop back about 18 yards before he could see over the fucking line. That's why.
Right.
Just to
and
get
if
that
somebody
kind of
gets
distance
through, now all of a sudden you are 18 yards deep, and 2nd and 28 is not easy to overcome.
That's why that's half of Kyler Murray's highlights are him running many, many yards behind the line of scrimmage that he shouldn't be.
Nobody should be 20 yards deep.
Nope, you really shouldn't be. It's not drawn up that way, I'll tell you that much right now. No coach said run 20 yards backwards, and then that's never the start of a play. Take the ball, run as far as you can the other direction, and then. That's not how it works. And then, whatever comes after, it's wrong. So he's born January 22nd, 1961. Mm-hmm. He's born in Baltimore.
All right.
Here now, and he's just this guy, man. We'll talk
Meager
about
beginning.
Meager beginnings, and just he had a rough childhood. Let's just put it that way. He's got 3 older brothers. He's born in Maryland, youngest of 4 boys, living in a poor neighborhood in South or East Baltimore, because people accounts vary of where exactly this was.
Sure.
But I mean, we're talking in the 60s, growing up in Baltimore is when Baltimore was starting to really kind of, on the crime side, go downhill into the 70s.
That's not good. Yeah.
That's not great. All of his 3 older brothers also good athletes and good basketball players. So he had an easy path because all of his brothers are playing ball all the time. So I guess that's what I go do. I go play ball. Yeah. I mean, that's it. And
I'm with my brothers, so it's safe, and we're all together.
Yeah, you're the youngest too. So whatever your older brothers are doing, you just want to be there doing it with them, So basketball became his identity early on. And that happens a lot too. If you grow up in a shitty neighborhood, the athletes are a different breed than the rest of everyone else in the shitty neighborhood. Everybody treats them differently.
Yeah.
The drug dealers treat them differently.
Okay.
Drug dealers want them to keep playing ball. They don't want them to sell drugs.
You've got something. Go do that. Yeah.
Yeah. No, well, drug dealers in a lot of places will give money to these kids even just to keep them from hustling and shit like that. Like everybody kind of roots in not all neighborhoods, but in a lot of shitty neighborhoods, that's kind of how it works.
Probably in Paul Pierce's neighborhood.
Yeah. But there's a lot of guys, if you listen to their stories, they're like, I was trying to get into street shit when I was a kid, and the people would take me aside and say, this ain't for you. You got a fucking future. None of us do. What are you doing, stupid? Somebody would pull him aside and tell him that. So he's playing in the playground games and everything like that. His older brother, Tony, who played football at West Point, by the way.
Oh.
Which, to get into that school, even to play football, you got to be pretty decent academically.
Yeah. Annapolis? Is that what that is?
No, that's West Point, up by me. West Point's Army.
Oh, Army.
Yeah.
what's Annapolis?
Navy.
Annapolis.
Navy.
Right,
Navy, Naval Academy. But the Army, the West Point Army is, 45 minutes away from me or something over here. So his older brother, Tony, says Q was into basketball when he was younger, but then when I started coming home from school, he was into he was into baseball when he was younger. That's what they're saying. But then when I started coming home from school, he was into basketball, and he just kept getting better and better. And he's like a great pool player too. Great hand-eye coordination. He's just one of those guys that can see angles and shit like that, which in basketball, if you can see angles, you can dominate, even if you're not athletic. Larry Bird dominated, and he was slow and couldn't jump because he saw every fucking angle and knew how to play them. That's all. So that's half the game right there. Yeah. He likes to tell a story about in a Baltimore police letting him fire guns at a pistol range when he was 13.
What?
I don't know why they would.
Super bad? What is going on?
Yeah, I don't know if this was like some sort of, policeman league. Because sometimes they'll have the police will sponsor leagues for kids. I don't know if maybe that's how he knew the cops or just. I can't imagine cops taking some kid from the neighborhood and being like, "You want to let off a couple of rounds with us? Come on, hop in. We're going to the bar afterwards if you want to come."
They make loving in the grocery store parking lot, just shooting at the car.
4 shots of Jameson for us. What are you, kid? You a Jameson guy or what are you?
You get to pop as many rounds as you drink. That's where we're at.
That's where we are. He said he was better than most of the officers at firing guns because he had shot guns before. Mm-hmm. Now, when he's a sophomore in college, he's 15 years old. This is brutal for anybody. Yeah. He's going to Cardinal Gibbons High School in Baltimore. Mm-hmm. And his mother dies of a stroke suddenly, obviously. Oh, no. Strokes don't really have we're expecting a stroke any time now. Really doesn't come out of anybody's mouth. Yeah. So his mother dies suddenly of a stroke. This is crazy. That was March 3rd, 1977. He said that he was sitting in a locker room, bundled up in a sweatsuit after leading the team to a victory. And he said he got a chill, and it was 9:15 p.m., and later on, he went over to his friend's house where his dad called him and told him that his mother died at 9:15 p.m. So he's saying he felt his mom die. He's convinced that he felt it happen. He can't tell him otherwise. Yeah. Now, a month later, actually it was like less than a month, it was like 3 weeks later, he was watching TV when the phone rang, and then his brother walked into the room and he told him, guess what? Dad just died too. So he lost both his parents within a month at 15 years old.
And his dad told him the first one?
His dad told him his mom died.
Yeah.
His dad was still alive.
And then his dad went and died.
His dad went and died, and his brother said dad died. Dad had cancer and had been fighting cancer for a while. And
imagine that.
But he wasn't expected to die then. He just happened to have a bad day and died. So imagine being 15 though, and in fucking April you have parents, and in May you don't.
Yeah.
And it's not like they died in a car accident together or something. They died separately of medical events in a month. Right. That's just brutal, man. So he's an orphan at this point. Mm-hmm. He's got older brothers, but they're doing their own things. They were going to school and stuff like that, college. Like they can't, his brother's at West Point. What's he supposed to do? Come home to Baltimore and, get a shit job and raise his brother? He can't do that. No one's going to do that. Yeah. So he was pretty rough here. That's crazy. So he remembered he was trying to carry on. He said one day as a sophomore the same year, he was dogging it in practice, as he put it, and his coach, a guy named Ray Mullis, told him that if he intended to go through just go through the motions, you could walk downstairs and take off his uniform right now. Okay. And Quintin said, I was cocky, so I walked. When I went downstairs, I thought, if I don't have basketball, I have nothing. And so I went back upstairs.
He tried to call his bluff, and then was like, oh, that motherfucker's right.
And then he was like, oh, shit.
Hilarious.
This is literally my whole identity. What am I supposed to do? So he said he was bitter when his parents died.
As you would be, yeah.
Which
he's
anybody,
a young kid still.
If you're 15, you're angry anyway.
Yeah.
Your parents could be alive and kissing your ass, and you're still angry when you're 15, especially a 15-year-old boy. You're pissed at everything in the world. And testosterone is flooding your system, and you don't know what to do with it.
Yeah, and now you got to take care of yourself.
Yeah, that's the other thing. He said, quote, when my parents died, I said, damn it, why did God have to take them now? Right now. But he said after a while, he became philosophical, and he learned to identify the situations that were beyond his control. Just can't be upset. He said, quote, just look at the obituaries. Death happens every day, and there's not a thing you can do about it. God puts you in the world to make you handle situations. There was no way I could save my parents. I have to face that and handle it. I have to handle the memories. I have to live. I have to live. I have to dance. I must sing.
That would hurt really bad to have both your parents dead. Then you go to the obituaries to learn a life lesson, and they're empty.
There's nobody. It just says nobody died today. Everybody's fine. And then you turn to sports. Is that how it works? You're like, oh, good, the lifestyle section, perfect.
It's only
see about that tulip exhibit that's going up.
It's only Q's mom and dad.
That's it. Nobody else. For months, he's just going through. Nobody's dying in Baltimore. Oh man. So. This newspaper article says, quote, despite the tragedies he's endured, Dailey smiles so much you wonder if there's a series of private jokes dancing through his head. But his is not the idiot kind of happiness that blinks half-knowingly at life. They're saying he's smiling, but not because he's a dummy. He's not just Forrest Gump grinning at you for no reason.
There's something going on in there.
Something going on in there. He says, well, let's give him it in their own words here.
Yeah,
let's find out who he is and give him it in their own words. That sounds fun here. All right. In their own words, quote, because of losing my parents, I had to be an adult quick. So I keep the kid in me alive. I smile all the time, even when I'm down. I can't see myself having a dog's life. I'm going to enjoy myself till I go.
Okay.
And he's going to try, all right. I'll tell you that much. He said, I was angry at God after my parents died. I couldn't understand if there was a God, why he would take my parents away from me.
Great point.
So he moved in with an aunt, but apparently from what he says, there's no love whatsoever coming from the aunt. The aunt lets him stay at her house and puts food on the table and shit, but it does not treat him like a son.
He's an inconvenience.
I guess I'll let you live here because I'd look like a dick to the rest of the family if I didn't. Yeah. But yeah. Right. He said he basically raised himself after that. He said, I had no structure in my life. I used to get my personality from movies. At the time, karate movies were big. I felt like a warrior. I made my body hard as rocks. I was driven by anger. Anger made me a great basketball player.
Yeah.
And that's it. And that's what he said for a lot later on, too. He said he got his personality from movies.
Yeah.
Just he'd pick personality traits he liked, and that's what he would do.
You could certainly play with a chip on your shoulder then, and it would improve what you're doing. Yeah, today now it's all just a finesse thing. It's all stupid.
Yeah, today it would.
But then you could sincerely, it would benefit your life and your game if you played like you fucking needed to.
Yeah, those guys back then. They played fucking hard. I mean, they
physical.
The game was very physical, and they'd say too, like, there's a lot of critique of like late '70s and kind of early to mid '80s basketball, like the pre-Jordan era. Yeah. There's a lot of critique of that as the guys were lazy. Guys were lazy. If they would, take their time sometimes coming up the court and stuff like that. But I don't think they were lazy. I think it was literally such a physical fucking game.
Yeah.
If you were
tired.
and you're fighting and elbowing, and I think then you might ease up on the run up the court, and then because you're going to go to battle again when you get down there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, guys went to the rack and got clotheslined, period. Yeah. And that was regular foul.
Yeah.
That was it. It wasn't a flagrant and everybody went crazy. It was just, watch out when you go to the rim because Artist Gilmore will clothesline you, and that's that. So, it was a different game. His brother, Tony, who was playing football at Army already when the parents died, so he was already on a college football team, he said the boy didn't have nobody. That's the way he put it. He just lived kind of on his own. So he lived alternately with his aunt, whom he didn't even like. And then he lived with his girlfriend's family sometimes too, when he got a girlfriend. One of his girlfriends that he lived with was Wanda Burton, who was Reggie Jackson's niece, which is just a very weird thing.
That's his girlfriend?
That's his girlfriend, is Reggie Jackson's niece. And in 77, I believe, before 76, Reggie Jackson played half a year with the Orioles. He got traded to the Orioles and played there for half a year in Baltimore and then signed with the Yankees after that, I believe. 75 into 76 or 76. Mm-hmm. Yeah, 76 was no Reggie on the Yankees, and 77 Reggie showed up. So, yeah. So, also he lived with teammates sometimes. He'd stay with them. He just he didn't really have a home base, really. I mean, didn't like his aunt. When the recruiters started coming for basketball, a lot of guys, especially back then, would want to play in a Big East team. They'd maybe go play at Maryland, or they would play, I don't remember if Maryland, they're not in the Big East, but they might go up and, they might try to play Georgetown, or they might try to play at St. John's up in New York, or go play one of those. He said his main thing was he wanted to get as far the fuck away from Baltimore as possible.
Really?
So get me the fuck out of here. I want out.
How about that?
He had no family, really. His brothers were off doing their own things. Parents dead. Aunt doesn't give a shit.
He's the youngest, right?
Yeah, he wants nothing to do with it. He said, I had a lot of pain growing up. I wanted to just get away and start over.
Fair.
Which is fair. And a lot of guys in his situation would want to stay put.
Yeah.
Because at least I have friends I know here, teammates, and he was like,
familiarity.
Fuck all of that shit, which is the healthiest attitude he could have, honestly, I think, at this point. So he graduated from high school, where he's a big giant star there, obviously, in 1979. He's recruited an insane amount out of high school. Like the level of star this kid was at basketball. It's crazy because you've never heard of him, right?
Right.
The level of fucking star and what he was supposed to be at this point is off the charts. I mean,
how about that?
Yeah, the 200 colleges pursued him. 200. Yeah. That's like all of them.
There can't be many more than that.
There's like 110 in Division 1A, and then the 2A school. I mean, every college was recruiting him. So every giant program you could imagine is recruiting him.
The Final Four has so many teams in it.
So many teams.
The March Madness, I guess, is the word.
Starts at 64 or 66 or whatever the fuck it is. Yeah, they have 4, the final. But yeah, so it starts at that, and that's, a lot of teams don't make it. He chooses, above all of these colleges, the University of San Francisco, which is geographically about as far away as you can get from Baltimore in the United States. San Francisco's a nice place. Nice place and all, but it's not a basketball powerhouse, or they're not a national TV.
I didn't even know it was a college until right now.
Back then, unless you were playing at like UCLA, playing on the West Coast was completely pointless because nobody saw you.
Right.
Your games weren't on the East Coast. If they were even on, there was no cable to play them on. So those games started at, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night in the East Coast. So nobody saw anything.
They have to overperform for what they're expected and be like a shocking underdog for the East Coast to give a shit because their games are played so late, 3 hours behind.
They wouldn't even be in the next day's newspaper sometimes.
Yeah,
the next morning's paper, it wouldn't be in there.
Yeah.
The score.
Give them a reason to stay up late. Otherwise, they're going the fuck to sleep.
Well, there was no even option to stay up late in the 70s because there's really no cable. There's no ESPN.
That's a great point, too. You're just getting the news later.
You're just not seeing it. It's just not going to be on unless they're on like a Saturday, which would be UCLA's spot because they were a big
because when did ESPN start where they started showing
81.
Was that when it was?
Yeah, college basketball was one of the first things they put on because it was cheap back then. Nobody wanted it.
Yeah.
Nobody cared about college basketball, especially the Big East. They went with the Big East teams. Like I grew up watching, as far back as I can remember, being like little watching like St. John's and Patrick Ewing and Georgetown.
Cover that all
Villanova.
fucking day.
Yeah, and it was cheap. So he chose that. Now it's a Jesuit school, and Bill Russell went there.
Oh.
That might be part of the reason why he went there, but that was 20 years earlier in the 50s.
Yeah.
So, I mean, San Francisco, otherwise, how many big basketball players from the University of San Francisco do you know of?
Yeah. I didn't even consider where Bill Russell went to college because he was played so long ago.
Yeah.
I don't even.
You're like, did they even play in college back then? Did they pick him up off They just found
colleges back then?
Yeah, there was just a hoop on the side of the building they found him playing at, and they were like, look at this tall son of a bitch. He's pretty good.
So long ago.
So this is the University of San Francisco Dons, D-O-N-S, like mob bosses here. So he plays 79-80 season here. He's a freshman. He's a young kid. He plays in 29 games. And looks like he averages 13.6 points, 3.7 rebounds, 3.4 assists. So not bad for a freshman.
Yeah.
Pretty goddamn good for a freshman here. In 80-81 here, he averages 22.4 points a game, 5.5 rebounds, and 3 assists. And he is a fucking star.
Wow.
He's shooting 57% from the field as a two-guard.
Yeah.
Which is goddamn impressive, too, and just excellent. Just a top-notch season. And this makes him – he's All-America that year, and everybody wants him. I mean, he is the guy, like, coming out. Like, if you need a two-guard, you're picking him. However, if if there's centers available ahead of him and you want big guys, that's different. But first team that wants a two-guard, he's the guy.
Bingo, yeah.
For sure. And he's only a sophomore at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So then on December 21st, 1981, now this is the end of this season, and this is all going to come out right before the draft starts.
Uh-oh.
His timing could not be worse.
Yeah?
Because right before the draft starts here, felony charges are filed against him.
Uh-oh.
Like within a month of the NBA draft.
Of what?
Not good. Felony charges of, well, let's find out here. Hey, everybody. Just going to take a quick break from the show and tell you how to save those terrible, terrible fees with all your banking with Chime.
Chime.com.
Absolutely. Chime, it's going to change the way people bank. That's what it is. It's doing it right now. Currently changing the way people bank. They offer the most rewarding fee-free banking. This is fee-free banking built for you.
Nice.
And me and Jimmie and everybody. This is great stuff. They're not like traditional old banks that charge you overdraft and monthly fees. There's thousands of fee-free ATMs. You don't need to pay to get your own money.
No.
That's one thing. That is ridiculous. This is built for you, not the 1%. This is built for us normal people here. Chime members can benefit from up to $1,150 in annual rewards, fee-free. Direct deposit unlocks the most rewarding way to use to bank at Chime, period. Chime is rated 5 stars by USA Today for customer service. Real humans 24/7, which is more than you can say for a lot of these banks. I'll tell you that right now. You're not just switching banks, you're upgrading to America's #1 choice for banking with a Chime checking account. You get 5% cash back on Chime card in a category of choice, like gas or groceries. So you can pick what you're doing there. You get savings that grow faster with 3.75 APY. That's 9 times higher than the national average. Plus, you get premium travel perks like airport lounge access and 24/7 travel concierge included in your Chime card.
Wow.
Not some special tier you can't get to. It's included. You can even get $500 of your pay when you use Pay Me. Hold on. When you say with, when it says when you say with pay me.
Yeah, what the fuck does that mean?
I don't know what that is. I guess when you use MyPay. You can even get $500 of your pay when you use MyPay. They also have SpotMe, which lets you overdraft up to $200. Guess what? Fee-free, of course.
Fee-free, yeah.
That's right. And this is a great way to bank. And I'm telling you, anybody can benefit from this. Yeah. You don't want to pay fees. I mean, this is crazy. The fee-free ATMs, there's no reason to not switch to Chime, everybody. Chime is not just smarter banking. It's the most rewarding way to bank. Join the millions who are already banking fee-free today. Head to chime.com/crimeinsports. That's chime.com/crimeinsports. It only takes a few minutes to sign up.
Chime is a fintech, not a bank. Banking services from MyPay and Chime Card provided by Chime's bank partners. Optional products and services may have fees or charges. Stated annual percentage yield and cashback for Chime Prime only. No minimum balance required. Checking account ranking based on a J.D. Power survey published October 20, 2025. For more information on APY rates, MyPay, SpotMe, and travel perks, go to chime.com/disclosures.
A text says, "You're on my mind." A bouquet from 1-800-Flowers says, "You're my everything." Heartfelt moments belong in the real world, not just your phone. For 50 years, 1-800-Flowers has helped millions of people make memories that'll last a lifetime with gifts they'll cherish forever. Their expertly curated arrangements and gift baskets ship nationwide with a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Don't wait for the next big moment. Make it when you visit 1-800-Flowers.com/podcast. That's 1-800-Flowers.com/podcast.
The accusations are on December 21st, 1981. He's a 21-year-old All-American national superstar.
Yeah.
He allegedly at the time, but he did because he pleaded guilty. He enters the dorm room of Victoria Brick, a 22-year-old nursing student serving as the resident supervisor in a women's dorm on campus around 3 a.m.
Yikes.
According to Brick's account, Quintin came in, demanded sexual favors, and pressed unwanted sexual attentions on her with threats of harm if she refused, subjecting her to an extended ordeal that she described as involving coercion but not escalating to rape, as she managed to deflect him through kisses and caresses until he fell asleep, enabling her to escape. So he drunkenly came in, apparently, tried to force his way on somebody who placated him long enough that he fucking went night-night, and then she got to run out of the room.
She kissed him and rubbed his back until he fell asleep.
Holy shit. She reported no physical injuries, no use of a weapon, and explicitly stated that rape did not occur.
That is so scary, though.
But it's someone coming in your room at 3 o'clock in the morning and saying, "Hey, you want to put this in your mouth?" is fucking terrifying.
He's not there to cuddle.
No, I highly doubt. He's not there to ask her what her favorite books are. Hey, what are you reading right now? What kind of movies you into?
What's your favorite color?
So February 23rd, 82 is when this comes out. And
that's horrible timing because ESPN just started, and if they're covering all things sports, including the bad side of sports, this is going to get national coverage.
It's not great. It's not great. Boy. Luckily for him, ESPN is in like 3 states in the Northeast, and nobody really has it yet.
And all they're talking about probably is just sports and not crimes.
Yeah, they're doing highlights, and that's when they had like log rolling and shit on there, and like that was a shit show. I remember ESPN from as early as I could remember because my area was in the first area to have it. So we had it from the beginning, and it was fucking.
Chris Berman was on it from the beginning.
He was.
Isn't that
Bob
crazy?
Lee too. He was the guy who started. Yeah, it was fucking nuts. ESPN was amazing when I was 4 and 5 years old, and just around this time or a little later, a year or two later. But
I loved SportsCenter. Right when I woke up in the morning, there was a very well dressed, put together, very awake man, just enthusiastically talking about sports,
telling us all about it. Yeah, showing us the overnight highlights,
rubbing my eye and trying to hide a morning boner. And I'm like, this is so great.
It was the fucking best.
What an amazing thing.
So this article here, February 23rd, 1982, Quintin Dailey, one of college basketball's finest guards and the country's 5th leading scorer with 16th ranked University of San Francisco.
How about that?
Was charged on Monday with 5 felonies, including attempted rape.
What a terrible time to be horny, man.
Just an idiot. What a terrible time to be a fucking idiot. He surrendered after an arrest warrant was issued and was released on bail on about $5,000 bond. Now, by the way, during all of this, the university, between the time that charges were filed and the time it happened, was trying to convince that girl to say no, to not do it. Trying to convince this woman to not do it, just to drop it. Maybe you were mistaken. You can't be sure it was him. Maybe it was somebody else. Maybe you misunderstood. I mean, literally, they were doing that. And the university was paying for his lawyer.
Oh, my God.
Think about that, what a different time that was.
Yeah.
The university literally was paying for his shit rather than suspending him.
Conflict of interest like crazy.
Yeah, totally. The director of public affairs for USF gave this following statement, quote, "One of our students has been charged by another with commission of serious criminal offenses. In these circumstances, and having in mind the sensitivity of the issues and the rights of the parties, it would be wrong for the university or anyone representing it to make any comment other than expressing an expression of profound concern for everyone involved."
Especially the guy we're paying for his lawyer.
Yeah. We don't put up with people bursting into dorm rooms trying to rape people at 3 a.m. That's not
wild,
cool.
Right?
And if it happened, this guy's out on his ass. I don't care how many points he scores, but no. He said the university considered Dailey innocent until proven guilty and that Dailey will continue to practice with the team, and he's scheduled to still start in 2 games this weekend. They said, doesn't matter. We don't care.
Boy.
The attorney representing Dailey said his client was charged with assault to commit great bodily harm, 2 counts of assault with intent to commit a sexual act, burglary with intent to commit a felony, and false imprisonment. They said that they lived in the same dorm building and said the 2-month delay before charges were filed were surprising, and added that Dailey had attempted to cooperate in the investigation before the charges were filed. He said, "I just think it's unfortunate and somewhat common that a well-known athlete has become subject to charges of this nature, which are later on proven baseless and entirely false."
Okay.
That's what they're trying to say here. So, the university is pretty much defending him behind the scenes. He enters a plea of innocent here, which this couldn't be the worst timing for him, honestly.
Yeah.
But they keep plugging along here. But apparently, here's a game, February 28th, 82. It's the day after the arrest happens. And this article says, when Quintin Dailey got out of bed Saturday morning, he looked at the world through fresh eyes.
Yeah.
He said, quote, "Everybody needs a day off every once in a while. When I got up this morning and I had sorted everything out, all I needed was some time to get my priorities straight to deal with the pressure. I dealt with it yesterday. There's no question. I was ready to play today." Okay, he's all ready to go. He missed 1 game. He had to go to court and then came back in and lost. He had a freshly shaven head, they said.
Nice.
So that's apparently was a big deal in 1982. Look at him. He's got a shaved
bald.
head.
Shit.
Wow. They said, though the Dons' plight, because they lost, San Francisco lost, were certainly an undercurrent in Saturday night's ball game. All eyes were focused on Dailey. After all, the junior guard was nowhere to be found Friday night when the Dons beat Loyola 96-73. That morning, he had entered a not guilty plea in regard to 5 felony charges. When it came to showing his face at Friday night's ball game, Dailey decided to stay in his room. He said, "I had to get my priorities straight. I had to think about where my life had been and where I was going. I came to the decision that life is just a series of obstacles, and this is one obstacle I have to get over. I have a little leaping ability, so I guess I'll just leap over it."
Okay.
I'll just leap over this rape charge that's attempted rape charge that's hanging before me. No problem.
A lot of people say duck. He's going high.
He's going over. Yeah. He's going
yeah.
to hop this bitch. He's going to fucking hurdle it. He said, "I've already taken one great step from one level to a level above. Now I just want to play ball and go to school." Okay. He said, "I knew we were capable of beating Loyola without me there, and I had enough confidence in my teammates for that. But I knew against Pepperdine we needed a catalyst. We needed everything I could give. I had my head ready for the Pepperdine game. That was a big game as far as motivation. I was ready to play Pepperdine last night." He said, in fact, if we were playing Pepperdine, I would have been out there. You can bet on that. I would have taken my day off another time. Okay. So they said he still had a good game in the game he played. He said, it felt fantastic to be out there. He said, I felt simply like I was home. There was no one who was going to stop me tonight. Great. And also the fans were like, they were supporting him. They gave him extra huge ovations.
Oh.
People were holding signs with the girl's name on it, the young lady's name on it, saying, you wish, and shit like that. Yeah, it was like, they weren't even like being...
You're not his type.
It was literally like, you're not hot enough for him to rape you. Like, it was crazy. Really fucking wild. Yeah, so they ended up losing this game against Pepperdine here. Yeah. And so that's how it goes. The coach says that guy hasn't worked up here in a long time. And wait, what was that? Oh, no. He's pissed off at a referee. That's right. The coach is mad at a referee and said, that guy hasn't worked up here in a long time, and if I have my way, it'll be the last time he'll work here.
Nice.
That's fucking funny. Okay. I think, is this Quintin? Yeah, no, Quintin says, I didn't get the ball enough. I'm not blaming that on anybody. That's just the way the game went. But if I had gotten the ball more, you never know. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, this season anyway, he averages 25.2 points a game. So, I mean, he was primed for this NBA draft. 5.2 rebounds, 2.7 assists, shooting almost 55% from the field. Leads the team, averaging 25.5 points per game, and broke a team record that had been held by Bill Cartwright, who people remember him from those 90s Bulls teams when he was an old man. He had been in the league for 15 years at that point. So he was a good player back in the day, though. In the early 80s, he was a pretty.
When did he retire? Because he did play a long fucking time.
I want to say like 94 he retired, something like that. 93.
I bet it was later.
Might have been later. I feel like it was
like 99.
Wow, because he played, I want to say he came in the league in like 77 or some shit.
Did
78.
He play for Boston, too, for a while?
He may have, because he bounced around a lot, because he was on the Knicks back in the early days, and he was on...
Wow, he's only 70. Not even. But he retired in, he was still coaching in 2013. He retired in 96.
96, there you go. Okay.
How about that?
So he pleads not guilty here, which is, I guess, what else are you going to do if you're him? He's got to at least act like he didn't do this shit for now.
Yeah.
They said that, what the district attorney said, no doubt at this point in time we have the right man. Because Dailey's attorney just keeps saying, we're not saying it didn't happen to her. She just picked the wrong guy. It's just a misidentification. Wow. I'm sure that someone broke in her room and did that, but it wasn't Quintin.
That's amazing.
That's what they're saying. So June 5th, 1982, he pleads guilty because he's so innocent. He pleads guilty to assaulting a nursing student in her dorm room. There you go.
She was confused. I'm guilty.
I'm guilty.
What?
In return for the guilty plea on a non-sexual charge, so they dropped charges, prosecutors agreed to drop 3 other charges, including 2 sex charges, in connection with the attack. They dropped attempted rape and attempted oral copulation and false imprisonment. They dropped all of those. He was ready to go to trial, I guess, there. Instead, he's going to get a felony assault charge. You, sir, may fuck off. 3 years probation. You be good.
Felony assault.
Yeah. If he did that, and he seems to be admitting he did that, that seems light for breaking into a chick's room at 3 o'clock in the morning and trying to force your dick in her mouth. I feel like that's a little light for that.
And what not for the ability of alcohol to take control of you and put you to sleep would have happened likely.
Yeah, that's what who the fuck knows?
If he had the energy, who the fuck knows?
That's what I mean. If he wasn't sleepy.
Right.
If he didn't come in there. Luckily, I guess unluckily, I should say, unluckily for women, rapists aren't sleepy most of the time.
Right.
They're usually really up and at 'em. They're fucking, they're energetic.
Charged up, ready to go.
Yeah. Apparently the victim approved of the arrangement because didn't want to have to go through the trial and, have her face out there. The Dailey here says this is after he had already said he was coming out for the draft this year. He said this was his last year. The police inspector that testified that Dailey told him in an investigative interview, quote, "I didn't mean to harm her. I never did anything like that before." That's a quote from his interrogation.
This is my first time.
This is my first attempted rape. I'm sorry. I don't know what I'm doing here. Okay, 1982 NBA draft. You would imagine this is going to hurt his stock a bit.
It can't be good.
Can't be good here, you would imagine. Number one pick in the 1982 NBA draft, Jimmie. It's actually a very famous guy.
Is it Brad Doherty?
It is not. I'll give you a hint. He played at North Carolina.
Shit.
Should be able to
not
get
Michael
this.
Jordan?
It is not. He was he was the big deal when Michael Jordan was a freshman. He was the big dog on the team at that point.
I don't know.
James Worthy.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Big game James, baby. James Worthy. He was nasty, James Worthy. Great player. Showtime Lakers. Yeah. Great player.
Dang, how about that? Right to the Lakers, and within 2 years, they're a giant fucking deal.
Oh, they were in the finals the year before, I think. You know, a couple years, Magic Johnson's rookie year,
He's
they were
already
in the finals.
there. Yeah.
So, I mean, he was right in the middle and just joined that team.
Added to that?
Added to it. Yes, it's the Lakers, who were very good, had got the number one draft pick, which is a whole other story.
Why is that?
It's a whole long story. There's a trades and stuff like that. Then the San Diego Clippers, number 2 overall, Terry Cummings. Remember him? Great player.
Yeah, Blazers.
Great player. That's where we remember him from. Yeah, Blazers. Number 3 overall, guy you know everybody knows who he is very well. Dominique Wilkins, number 3.
Shit, yeah. Did he go to Atlanta? He did.
Yeah. Picked by Atlanta. Yeah, there you go. So the top 3, pretty goddamn good. Those are 3 pretty fucking good players.
Those guys are all 1990 to 1990. Well, Worthy was already pretty well done by 94.
I mean, all of them averaged over 15 points a game in their career. Wilkins had 24.8 points a game, which is almost a 25.
And some of the most creative, incredible dunks you've ever seen.
Oh, amazing. The human highlight reel was his nickname. We got Terry Cummings, 16.4 points a game, but also 7.3 rebounds a game he averaged. He was a big rebounder. And then Worthy, 17.6 points, 5.1 rebounds, 3 assists in his career, too. Then number 4 overall, Dallas, who was a disastrous tire fire shit show back then.
Yeah.
And for many years after. Yeah, they picked Bill Garnett from Wyoming.
Nice.
Who played 4 years in the league and averaged 5.5 points. Not very good.
Who got number 5?
The Kansas City Kings then draft LaSalle Thompson. From Texas, who played for 15 years but averaged 7.9 points and 6.8 rebounds. He's
played for Indiana for a while, power forward?
I can remember him on Denver for some reason. Maybe.
Okay.
That could be wrong about that.
I see him playing for Indiana.
That's possible. That's very possible. Number 6 overall, the New York Knicks picked Trent Tucker, who didn't really amount to much, 8.2 points a game for 11 seasons. Number 7 overall, the Chicago Bulls select Quintin Dailey from San Francisco.
How about it?
Quintin fucking Dailey from San Francisco.
That is interesting, too, that he is the next guy in line for, like, royalty at San Francisco, and he went to the place that the last guy ended up 3 to 5 years later?
Cartwright.
Not much longer, right?
Cartwright, right?
Yeah.
Talking about, yeah.
That's fascinating.
I think it's funny, too, that they drafted him in this draft, and then they drafted Jordan
the next year?
2 years later. So, isn't that interesting?
How about that?
Yeah, so they were looking for a shooting guard that was a dynamic, electric guy. Yeah. It turns out Quintin ain't the guy because they draft Michael Jordan later on.
Wow.
So Quintin here drafted number 7 overall. A few other guys after that. Clark Kellogg was next. Fatty Lever, like you mentioned, went to Portland.
Fat Lever.
Fat went to Portland, number 11 overall here. Who else would people? Sleepy Floyd, love his name.
That's another good name.
I'm trying to look. Paul Pressey, guys that people might have heard of that besides crazy basketball people and people like that. Not a ton, honestly.
Not a lot in 82?
That really, no. Derek Smith, I'm looking at guys. Yeah, the draft kind of peters out after that. That's about that. So the 82-83 Chicago Bulls, they suck.
Yeah.
28-54. Coach is Paul Westhead, who's a very interesting guy, Paul Westhead. He was the run and gun offense is his big deal. And in college, he popularized that in college and then tried to bring it to the NBA. It didn't quite work. So 28-54 for him this team. Reggie Theus is on this team.
Yeah.
Dave Corzine, big old white guy. Orlando Woolridge.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Let's see.
Magic.
Quintin Dailey, Dwight Jones, Dudley Bradley. Okay. So not a loaded up roster.
No.
There's not a lot of question of why they finished 28-54 with this roster. So Quintin here, there's an article after he's drafted, and this is from the Daily Press, and it says, Quintin doesn't remember encounter. That's the headline.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. Although basketball star Quintin Dailey pleaded guilty to assaulting a nursing student days before Christmas, he says he doesn't even remember going into her dorm room. What? He said, quote, I feel bad about what happened to her, but I don't even remember touching her or anything.
Ugh.
What the fuck are you doing? Why are you saying this out loud?
That's so bad.
That is horrifying. Wow. The incident and his remarks about it have made him the target of protests from women's groups in Chicago where he was picked by the Bulls. The Bulls fans were not thrilled with this pick at all. They were like, there's one guy in the draft who just pled guilty to an almost rape thing, and that's the guy you picked?
Him?
Thanks a lot. Yeah, good job, assholes. So, yeah, they're protesting outside the Chicago Center. And that's just what they're doing. He said the only thing that kept him from a full and prompt apology was that he didn't remember anything he was accused of doing, or else he would have just apologized. Like, that makes it all better. You traumatized this person.
Yeah.
You understand? She's going to have 5 locks on her door for the rest of her fucking life.
But I said sorry.
But but come on. I don't even remember it. I was so hammered. What are you talking about?
I don't remember.
He said, I've never harmed anyone. I would never hurt a woman. I'm firmly against that.
Oh, are you?
Well, what a magnanimous asshole you are. I am firmly against, breaking into women's houses and raping them, just so you know.
I do not like it.
Yeah. Asked why he pleaded guilty instead of going to trial, his agent said a plea bargain, quote, seemed like the only thing we could do. The draft was only 3 days away, and we didn't want this hanging over his head. Mm-hmm. They wanted it resolved. They didn't want, he could go to prison possibly down the road.
Yeah.
That being in his, packet of fucking shit to look at. Oh, let's see. Oh, there's his vertical leap. That's a good points per game average. Ooh, we may be doing 3 to 5. That's not good.
Yeah. I
don't think that'll work. Dailey said the charges did not influence his decision to leave San Francisco before his senior year. So August 16th, 1982, the headline is, Hate could prove to be best shot for Chicago Bulls top draft pick.
Hate?
If Quintin Dailey plays his cards right, and if the management of the Chicago Bulls remains calm, Dailey could turn out to be one of the biggest stars in the history of Chicago sports. Wow, that didn't happen. Based on hate. That's really funny considering that Michael Jordan comes along 2 years later. That's just hilarious.
And
Dailey,
B.J. Armstrong.
There's a lot of guys.
So many guys are about to be there.
Dick Butkus was a history of Chicago sports. Mike Singletary's about to come in there. Jim McMahon, Walter Payton, fucking
Brian Urlacher. Yeah.
Yeah. Good God. Urlacher, all these guys. Fucking Devin Hester. Ryan Sandberg. I mean, let's go to fucking Ernie Banks, for Christ's sake. Andre Dawson's about to be there.
I've never heard of this guy.
Yeah.
Jay Cutler was there, and I know him more than you.
Big star. I know Neil Anderson more than this fucking guy. What are we talking about? I know Mike Tomczak more than this guy. I know Peter Tom Willis more than this guy. Okay.
Andre Dawson was here, for Christ's sake.
Oh, P.T. Dubs. Andre fucking Dawson won the MVP there in 87. Doesn't matter. Dailey, as everyone must know by now, is the number 1 draft pick of the Chicago Bulls basketball team. Controversy is raging around him because he pleaded guilty to aggravated assault against a student nurse at the University of San Francisco. The specifics of the allegations against Dailey have been printed in graphic detail. Anyone who reads newspapers or national sports magazines must realize exactly what is supposed to have gone on in the student nurse's room. In his statements, Dailey has indicated that he may believe he wasn't really the man who assaulted the student nurse. He may believe he wasn't really the guy. Maybe.
What is that?
That's his way of denying it while not denying it.
Trying to get plausible deniability?
Yeah, I'm such a good guy, and I'm so just go with the flow that I just pleaded guilty just to get it out of the way, and just so it's not in everybody's craw. But I don't even. They might not even have been me, but I did black out that night, so it could have been.
It's possible.
I don't remember that night. Wow. But he plea bargained to avoid going to trial to get on with his life. Few people believe that. The consensus in the press is that in the public is that Dailey attacked the student nurse. The purpose here is not to go into the merits of those arguments. The purpose is to state that whether Dailey or the Bulls realize it or not, they come out of this whole mess in great shape. I thought that was the end of that sentence. Yeah. Yeah. Without ever having stepped onto a National Basketball Association court, Dailey today is the biggest name in pro basketball. But it's because you're arguing over whether you should have picked him because he almost raped a chick. What are you talking about?
You're arguing over the culpability of his rape charge.
Yeah. And then they go on to say Larry Bird, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson, none of them carries the intrigue Dailey does. No, but they carry their teams to the finals all the time. That's the difference. Yeah. This guy's just a tabloid asshole. Because of the front page publicity accorded to the whole San Francisco attack mess, people who don't even follow pro basketball know Dailey's name. Sports writers and columnists have been unprecedentedly harsh in their attacks on Dailey. They've suggested that he's unfit to play professional sports in America. They've advocated that basketball fans stay away from any game in which the Bulls allow Dailey onto the court. And speaking from a moral viewpoint, they're probably right. Dailey apparently did a very bad thing. In a perfect world, he would not be excused for doing it. We do not live in a perfect world. We live in the world of American marketing, and professional sports is near the apex of that world. The fact is, the first time Quintin Dailey steps onto the court, he will be mightily booed and cursed from the stands. But one thing is certain, every eye in the stadium will be on him. Every eye will follow him the whole game. I hate that that's our fucking currency. That attention is currency is the whole fucking problem with the entire universe right now.
This started it, huh? Well, at least it was good and prevalent then, too.
It really is. I mean, I don't even know when it started, but I mean, maybe with radio,
TV.
When there's a way to market something. Yeah, radio or a newspaper. I don't even know. That still wouldn't do it the same way.
Tracking ratings and advertisements. That's what did all this.
If Dailey has the psychological makeup to withstand the jeers, he's in a position to become an amazing pro sports success story. Nothing succeeds in this country like notoriety, whether you're a rock band or a tennis player or an author. If you're notorious, you're a big draw. The bland draw yawns, the nasty draws customers. Most entertainment acts that understand this, and pro sports is an entertainment act, go after their notoriety on stage in calculated ways. Dailey is different. You think? Yeah. His notoriety is real. It happened off stage in the real world. It was confirmed in a court of law. But it will still be a box office draw. Sports writers may contend that good-hearted fans will stay away from Chicago Bulls games in droves because they support the dignity of all women and abhor what Dailey pleaded guilty of doing. I disagree. If Quintin Dailey wins 2 or 3 basketball games in a row for the Bulls by virtue of his on-court heroics, there's a misprint here. Ents proved anything? I don't know what ents means. I think there's supposed to be hence. But there's no H in the newspaper article. Proved anything, and there's too many spaces between the comma and the end. So, yeah, there's something missing there. Proved anything, it is that the people of this country are almost ridiculously willing to forgive. Oh, yeah, if someone's been broken down, everybody will feel bad for them, even if they deserve to be where they are.
Well, that's been something that we don't, that's never changed. We loved watching and tearing down somebody.
Building, loving, destroying, building back up again. Because it almost shows you.
So fun.
It shows your power. That's why.
Yeah.
Look, I'll make him famous again. How about that? Now we like you again. Ha ha.
Bet you $1.
Yeah. No one cared about you. Now we do again. Take that.
Take the exit. Turn right into the drive-thru.
Nope, I'm making dinner tonight.
You don't have time. Josh has practice.
Oh, that's right. I'll just get a salad.
And fries?
No, just the salad.
But salad cancels fries.
Salad only.
Fries.
Salad.
Fries.
Food noise isn't fair, but Mochi Health is. The affordable GLP-1 source that puts you on the road to successful weight loss.
Hey, can I get the...
Fries.
Salad. Sorry.
Learn more at joinmochi.com. Mochi members have access to licensed physicians and nutritionists. Results may vary.
Fresh air, longer days, a chance to reset. This season, let therapy be part of your spring cleaning. Clearing mental clutter, shaking off stuckness, and building something better. Grow Therapy helps you get there. Whether it's your first time in therapy or your 15th, Grow makes it easier to find a therapist who fits you, not the other way around. They connect you with thousands of independent licensed therapists across the U.S., offering both virtual and in-person sessions, nights and weekends. You can search by what matters, like insurance, specialty, identity, or availability, and get started in as little as 2 days. And if something comes up, you can cancel up to 24 hours in advance at no cost. There are no subscriptions, no long-term commitments. You just pay per session. Grow helps you find therapy on your time. Whatever challenges you're facing, Grow Therapy is here to help. Grow accepts over 100 insurance plans, including Medicaid in some states. Sessions average about $21 with insurance, and some pay as little as $0 depending on their plan. Visit growtherapy.com/booknow to get started. That's growtherapy.com/booknow. growtherapy.com/booknow. Availability and coverage vary by state and insurance plan.
Every one of the Watergate characters from the president on down is a respected member of society again. Yeah, that happened a ton. You look at what happened, look at the results of all the Watergate people, and go, holy shit. Yeah. Most of them got book deals and TV shows and everything else. Fucking Oliver North was at a TV show for 20 fucking years. The guy, it's unbelievable. So
his son Peter had a huge career.
He did. A big decorating career. That's what he is. One of the top decorators in all the world, from what I understand. That's what I think will happen with Quintin Dailey. If he's as good on a basketball court as he is reputed to be, and no one, not even his fiercest critics, disputes that he's terrific, then he is in a remarkable position. The NBA is boring. Even its biggest stars lack magnetism. This is what they were saying a year before Jordan came in the league. The league's boring. No one. Magic Johnson lacks magnetism. What are you, crazy? He got fucking HIV and everybody still liked him. It didn't matter.
Couldn't be more magnetic.
The most magnetic guy out there. Quintin Dailey has the chance to step in fresh, and precisely because so many people already hate him, to become the biggest attraction in the game. So that's where
underdog shit, huh?
Where we're doing that here. Here is a Mary A. Mosley writing an editorial, or writing a letter into the editorial department of the Chicago Tribune. And it says, I am appalled that the Chicago Bulls would even consider drafting Quintin Dailey, a man who admits assaulting a woman, says he has forgotten about it, and shows no remorse. To elevate Dailey to a position of prominence where he will serve as a role model for young children undermines the moral fiber of our society and is an affront to decent women and men everywhere. It's time we stopped coddling criminals. Dailey may have forgotten about his crime, but I'm sure his victim has not, and neither has the public.
Yeah, the I forgot defense that's wild,
it's
man.
Crazy. I don't think it was me, but I was blacked out, so I guess I'll plead guilty as a wild defense. I forgot. Then it goes to September 30th, 1982. He's holding out. Mm-hmm. Training camp is opening, and he's holding out.
Wow.
Which is crazy that he would think he would want to just shut the fuck up, sign a contract, show how good he is, get past all that shit, and then make money next time. But nope, that's not at all. The Bulls general manager, Rod Thorne, said today that Dailey had not signed a contract, but he voiced optimism that he was close to an agreement. So that's how it goes there. October 6th, 82, women picket Dailey and the Bulls.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah. More than 25 women members of Peoria's Now chapter carried big picket signs outside the Bradley University Fieldhouse that said, neuter the bull, and rape is not a sporting proposition. Oh, my. Yeah.
We want to castrate this man.
And coincidentally, he signed a 5-year, $1.5 million contract there. As well. So he's signed, sealed, and getting protested. That's right. Wow. Right under that, by the way, there's something that you need to know.
Tell me.
It says roll in big block letters. Big block letters. And it
Two
says...
L's or L-E?
No, R-O-L-L. And I believe that's Dick Van Dyke, but it's in black and white and it's hard to tell. I believe there's a picture of Dick Van Dyke and it says, that's what you should do if your clothes ever catch on fire. Just stop, drop, and roll. The rolling will keep the fire from rising into your face and hair, and it'll squash out the flames.
Right.
Yeah. But this was like a new thing, stop, drop, and roll back then.
Smother the flames, guys.
That's it.
We just found out that if you take its oxygen away, fire dies.
It works. And then it says under it, learn not to burn in big letters. Yeah, I'd love to. It sounds great. So November 1st, 1982, protesters are picketing his debut. Again, Dailey said, I don't want to talk about what's going on outside. I'd rather talk about basketball. I appreciated the fans' response because apparently he was inside the building. They gave him a rousing ovation.
Yeah.
Acted like nothing was wrong here. He scored 23 points in Chicago's 143-25 loss to Washington, and that's that. Dailey said, we've all got to learn a lot. We're 0-2, and there's a lot of new players and a new coach on this team. I know I've got to learn. I took some shots tonight I shouldn't have taken.
Oh.
Yep, and the pickets have members of the group called Take Back the Night Coalition, and they were chanting, we want fair play, not foul play, which isn't very catchy.
No.
Quintin Dailey said, this is one of the people outside, said, we're here because we know there are a lot of impressionable people out there that emulate athletes. We want to let everyone know that we don't accept Quintin Dailey as a role model for anyone. And they insisted they were not picketing to urge Chicago to trade him. They said we would just have to picket whenever he came to town with another team. They want him out of the league.
Yeah. Oh, they want him out of the league?
Yes, they want him gone. They said if he goes to another team, then we still have to come out and pick it because he's going to come here every once in a while. Wow, that is interesting. They say I think this is one of the team officials said, those people aren't the ones who are coming to the games anyway. I understand their feelings, but it might not just be toward Quintin Dailey, but to the high salaries players are getting.
Huh.
The treasurer of the Illinois Now chapter said since his sentencing, Dailey has issued conflicting statements expressing no regret, stating that he couldn't control himself and that he only admitted guilt to save his career. The devastating effects of this crime on its victims often remain misunderstood. And then they also go on to this is the president of Illinois Now, said, since we've been told that the ownership is considering our requests, but we feel that continued public pressure is vital to the successful resolution of our efforts. They're not going to trade him because people are picketing, period. Then December 8th, 1982, huge headline in the Tampa Bay Times, Bulls police searching for guard Quintin Dailey.
Oh, no, he's missing?
He's been under contract for 2 months and he's missing and needs to be the police to find him.
Awesome.
Authorities have issued an all-points bulletin for Chicago rookie guard Quintin Dailey, who failed to show up for Tuesday night's game between the Bulls and Knicks. Yeah, if you don't show up for a game, they assume you're dead somewhere.
Yeah.
Or being held hostage or you got to show up for games. They're on TV and shit. You got to be there.
Or you're at Michael Irvin's house.
Yeah, you're over there. You're at the White House there.
Who was it
down
that
in Dallas
saw a
there,
game
Michael Irvin's place?
And realized he was supposed to be there?
Holy shit, we've had that a few times.
Yeah.
We've had that a few times where someone goes, oh shit, it's Tuesday?
Is it today?
I was real fucked up, right? Yeah, we've had that multiple
Michael Irvin
times.
was one of those.
I don't think so. I don't ever remember Michael Irvin missing a game.
There was a basketball game for sure.
Yeah, there's a couple guys that were on like huge like crack benders of 3 days. Michael Irvin was always under control for his. He doesn't let that shit fuck with business. Michael Irvin ever. No, he'd show up at practice, show up at games, do all that. Then all night he'd party and smoke crack and be up at 8 a.m, rip roaring to go again. He's like Ric Flair, basically. He's like the Ric Flair of football. So they go on to say Dailey, a controversial player who pleaded guilty to the assault there, was last seen about 5:45 p.m. by roommate Rod Higgins, a team spokesman said. Spokesman Jonathan Kovler said team officials called police and requested their assistance when it was apparent that Dailey had not shown up for the game. Bulls coach Paul Westhead calls Dailey's disappearance, quote, bizarre and something that has me worried, the same as if I were a parent. Okay. He was last seen going to his car in suburban Northbrook and was believed to be headed for the game. So he left at the time he'd have to leave for the game, going to his car, and never showed up. Higgins said, I was wiping off my windshield when I saw Quintin get into his car with his bag, and he said, I'll see you later. So he's got his basketball gear. He had his shit going. Dailey, who normally drives to Chicago Stadium with Higgins, had a date with a young lady tonight, so I guess he wanted to drive his own car.
Uh-oh.
I guess he wanted to start the fucking date early, too.
Yeah.
Holy shit. December 10th, 1982, another headline, Dailey harassed, seeks counseling.
Shit.
This is going bad. He's not even 6 months into the league yet.
Who did he harass this time?
Dailey is harassed. He's the one harassed.
They're harassing him.
They're harassing him, and he's seeking counseling. He said his lawyer says he's on the brink of suicide.
Oh, my.
He is 2 months into this career. He's on the brink of suicide.
I mean, part of me is very excited that they could harass him enough to those thoughts because of what he did. But the other part of me is I don't want him to commit suicide.
Nobody, you don't have to off yourself, but
No.
this has gotten like, dude, it went from, I can't remember, everything's fine, I don't know, something bad might have happened, to he gets drafted in the top 10 lottery pick, when there was a lottery, and then within 2 months of signing, he's fucking seeking counseling and ready to off himself. This is not good.
Yeah,
Imagine you drafted this guy. You'd be like, fuck. You didn't hear this out of Jordan's rookie year. Jordan, about to off himself, seeks counseling. Did you ever hear that from Michael Jordan? No. Fuck. It's rough.
Well, being that depressed kind of lends to maybe he remembers it.
I think maybe he remembers.
I don't think he's forgotten.
His agent / attorney, who was Bob Wolf, said it's almost as if he's lost hope. Oh, man. He was granted an indefinite leave of absence to seek psychiatric counseling. Wolf said he's been harassed so badly almost on a daily basis. He was an All-American basketball player, and he's used to people admiring him. To go through something like this at the age of 21 was just too much for him. To go through what? Pleading guilty to trying to rape a chick? That's what you're going through. You're going through the consequences of your actions, stupid.
It's terrible stuff, though, James.
Oh, it's terrible. Man, Wolf said that the guard went to a psychiatrist for the first time Wednesday, and he said he's very glad that he's getting the help. He's very much uplifted. Wow. So it's interesting. When he arrived in Chicago, he was asked whether he still thought about the student nurse, and he said, quote, basically, I don't. I had to go through the situation by myself, so I don't concern myself.
Why did they ask him that question?
I don't even know why you would ask that question.
Do you still think about her? What?
Whether he still thought about her. They want him to say he feels bad. I think they were serving him up some easy remorse bait.
Maybe.
I think they were trying to make him. I think they were trying to help, honestly, because this was a
look
Chicago.
likable? Yeah.
I think they were trying to tee it up for him to say, yeah, that's terrible, and I really hope that she's okay. And I think they were teeing him up for one of those, and he came completely the other way. Basically, I don't.
I don't even consider her. Jesus.
Okay. Some interpreted the response as a lack of remorse. You think? I would say. Again, I've said you think like four times already because it's the obviousness. There's fucking obvious here. And the Bulls office was inundated with protest calls. Some women's groups picketed outside the preseason exhibition games. Dailey then apologized publicly. He said, I want to come back to Chicago and show people that Quintin Dailey is a human being, not an animal. Now he's already in third person, too.
Yeah.
I have been so down, it's unbelievable since I saw what the paper said about me. He explained that he had been so excited about being chosen by the Bulls. He said, I thought I could put it all in the past. I felt plenty of remorse. Yeah. I have felt plenty of remorse, just not now.
It's a lot of me, though. There's not.
It's all it is. I think. The nursing student has since filed a $300,000 suit against him. You knew that was coming.
Shit.
Quintin, and why not? I mean, he did it, so fuck it. So his attorney / agent said, Quintin has gone through an awful siege, harassment, and abuse on a daily basis. Poor guy. Jesus. It's almost
They're
like
reminding
if you
him
rape
every day
people,
that That he made a mistake? Really?
Yeah, it's so weird. He's been in extreme depression. It's been more and more difficult for him to cope with these things. He told me that he has seriously considered ending his life. He's lost hope.
I really hope he doesn't.
Oh, goodness. And the Bulls said in a statement that in addition to his personal troubles, he's had to cope with the, quote, normal pressures on an NBA rookie.
Yeah.
Oh, let's have a moment of silence for poor Quintin. He's just so besieged.
Is this the beginning, though, of the spotlight being on an athlete who made a mistake, who
Fuck yeah.
needs to make amends and doesn't know how?
Well, back in the day here, we're talking, 60s and shit like that.
Yeah.
You'd never hear about most of this shit. If this happened at a big college, they would have told that girl to shut the fuck up. They'd have told her that they would have given her something. They'd have paid her off a couple of bucks, and this would have been ignored. The local cops would have been like, oh, hey, maybe we get some tickets down by the court and we don't forget about this. Like, that's how it used to be. And then this is when the media started shining a spotlight on, because this is when you're starting to get cable news and 24-hour news cycles and all that shit. ESPN, CNN, you got stuff like that. So they're needing grist for the mill here. Yeah. And he has turned himself into some mighty fucking tempting grist for these people.
Hell of a setup. Hell of a chunk of pulp on this guy.
He really is just a big chunk of untampered with wheat right now, and they're going to mush him into shit right now and turn him into Wonder Bread. So, and that's how it is back then. And it's been like that since then. So these guys expect it now.
Yeah.
And the spotlight's even more now. But, back then, this is when it really came into it. Next up, December 16th, 82. That was December 10th, the last one. Then the 16th, Dailey and roommate evicted.
Oh.
Not good. Quintin Dailey, Jesus Christ, who's been on a leave of absence to get psychiatric treatment, has been evicted with his rookie teammate Rod Higgins from their suburban Northbrook apartment. Wow. Dailey previously was rejected for 3 other residences. Must be that damn pesky attempted rape charge that keeps getting him. Dailey's attorney, Bob Wolf, criticized the Pheasant Creek Condominium Association's decision as, quote, camouflaging the real reason why, and that he and Dailey would be a lot angrier if Dailey had no place to go. At least he's got money and he can go, whatever. Yeah. Bill Foster, South Carolina basketball coach, could see limited coaching duty in a month if – that's a different article. I'm like, what does his quadruple bypass surgery have anything to do with Quintin Dailey? It's just in that article. Okay.
Why was he evicted?
Don't know. They said that they're using it as a camouflaging the real reason why. So they gave him too much noise. Who knows? December 20th, 1982. He's returning to the Bulls. He's fine. 12-day leave of absence. He's gone from the brink of suicide to ready to resume daily activities in 12 days.
You cannot. No.
Think about that. No. Hey, you know what? He's good now. That's what it is. This is the ultimate he's good now. No. He's fine now.
There's something else going on. There's either something else going on or they're just trying to bury this as fast as possible to get him back on track to play.
Because they drafted him 6th overall and the team's or 7th and the team's in the shitter. They won 24 games that year. So
that sucks. Yeah.
The general manager, Rod Thorne, said, the doctor said this would be the best thing for him. It would be go out where the pressure is that makes you want to kill yourself. Really immerse yourself in that. Get knee deep in it. Really dive.
You want to die, do you?
Yeah.
Go play for an NBA team that's in the
Jesus. But he would continue to see him though. You think this is a team hired doctor? Maybe. Possibly.
Likely, yeah. If there's anybody that plays for the White Sox or the Rockies and you are on the verge of suicide, please do not play.
It's not worth it, everybody. It's not worth it. That's what I mean. For this team that sucks anyway, it's really not worth it. It's not like, oh, Christ, we're right at the top of the division and we're fighting here. Wow. So they say, he's failed to show up and all that. The doctor emphasized, Thorne said, that Quintin should be treated like any other player. Mm-hmm. He says, Quintin was very upbeat when I saw him today. He'd like to get back and play. Thorne said that Dailey and his doctor have talked at length about the fans' reaction, including the picketing of Bulls games by women's groups who say that Dailey got off with a light sentence. Thorne said that was part of what triggered this whole thing in the first place. The doctor feels now that Quintin will be able to handle it. If he's on the road somewhere and he's having trouble, he can call the doctor. He said, and also Rod Thorne said, I don't think he'll be treated any differently by the club. Really? Interesting. And he said, and if anything, things figure to get tougher for him on the road. The pressure will be even worse, we expect, in the short run. But the doctor feels he'll be better able to cope and will be better able to help him. In retrospect, we should have handled it differently, but it was uncharted waters. We did things out of instinct and they didn't work out. But he has to function in the athletic arena at some point to be a player, and obviously he and his doctor believe he is ready. The key thing is that he's realized he needs help. I don't think he felt like that before. Okay. Right. January 21st, 83. This is still his rookie year. We are still in this man's rookie year. This is so much drama for a rookie fucking year. Dailey settlement near. So there's an out-of-court settlement is close with the civil suit from the nursing student he attacked there. Now she's come out publicly, Victoria Brick, saying that the settlement will include money and a public apology by Dailey, which is, she said, is really all she's wanted this whole fucking time that he won't give her. That's interesting. She was, they say several charges were dropped. We know that. When he failed to express remorse, they said basically, she didn't file the suit until he came out publicly and made statements that included no remorse. That's when she filed the suit. It wasn't right away. It was, you're going to act like this didn't even happen and you don't remember it. And well, then fuck you. You'll remember it every time you look at your bank account type of deal. And then right by that is an ad. The sales, Jimmie, the sales. Yeah. Sensuous intimate apparel.
What?
Sensuous weekly specials with up to 50% reductions. With attentive male and female staff and one of, I guess, Long Island, Mineola, Long Island's largest selections of luscious lingerie, men's briefs, adult toys, games, novelties, exotic chocolates, all at low, low prices.
Nice.
Bachelor party and shower gifts, larger sizes. Hey, ladies, it don't even matter. Super home parties. Simply Gorgeous is the name of the store. Get on in there. Okay. January 31st, 1983. Okay, here is an article, or a write-in here to the letter to the editor from Kim Oury of Madison. Quote, this is from the Wisconsin State Journal. The recent New York Times News Service article on Chicago Bulls player Quintin Dailey is sickening.
Oh.
He commits a foul act against a woman and the press turns it into poor Quintin Dailey. That was he's suicidal. Yeah. Everyone feel bad for him. What about the victim? How does she spend her nights and days? What emotional stress does she go through each day? Dailey should be in jail. Here is a convicted person running around loose and making big-time money. When will people see that one cannot blame the victim? This man committed a foul act and got a hand slapping. A foul act.
Why do they do that?
Why do they do that? No wonder each day women are murdered, butchered, physically and mentally abused, all the way down to children being hurt. As long as everyone condones actions like Dailey's by rewarding with multi-million-dollar contracts, no one is safe. Remember, the victim could have been your wife, daughter, sister, or mother. Yeah, okay, we all think that, I would hope, right? Yeah. That seems right. Here we go. February 26th, 1983, Dailey to apologize, nurse to drop suit. She never wanted money. She wanted him to fucking own up to it. That's all she wanted, which I think is really fair. He has completed arrangements to pay and apologize to the nurse he admitted assaulting, and she will drop a lawsuit against him in return. So he's going to pay some money. Mm-hmm. Attorney for him said a bank draft for the cash amount of the settlement was mailed to Victoria Brick. When it is received, the suit will drop. The draft will be exchanged for the release of papers, and all parties in the suit will be free from further obligations. Next week, Dailey will mail Ms. Brick an apology, a document that the lawyer said will be made public after it's received. Oh, my goodness, man. Also named in the suit to be dropped were university and its security chief as well.
Oh.
So, yeah. Now, during the investigation, by the way, Dailey admits that he accepted $5,000 for a no-show job at a business owned by a University of San Francisco non-sports donor. What? So one of their alumni gave him $5,000 for work, which was a no-show job like the mob, basically.
How did he get this?
These are what these alumni do. They come to these guys and they go, hey, I know you're going through a hard time. I'd like to help you out. I got a job for you. You don't even have to show up for it. Here's your pay. You get paid up front. That's what they do. No-show jobs. That's how guys on parole in the mob could go to their parole officer with pay stubs. They had no-show jobs. That's how it works. A month later, university president Reverend John Lowe Shivo announced that he was shutting down the basketball program. Shutting it down.
Uh-oh.
USF has been on NCAA probation twice in recent years, and Loshivo called the revelation about Dailey's no-show job the last straw and shuts the program down. Yeah. The program does not return until 1985. That's why we don't know shit about University of San Francisco basketball.
Because he tried to rape a woman.
Yep, because once the program gets shut down like that, it takes decades to rebuild once it's done. Like, look at SMU. They were a giant powerhouse. They got the NCAA death penalty. Then they came back, and have you seen SMU in a fucking bowl game that's huge? They were a national powerhouse before that. That's what happened. So, so shut down. March 3rd, 1983, Bulls rookie guard Dailey apologizes and pays $100,000 to the student he assaulted. Her lawyer said she wants it known that Dailey acknowledged responsibility for what he did to her and for the hurt and discomfort he caused her. She bears no animosity or ill will toward him. She wants him to go on with his life and intends to do with hers. All right. So that's what she said. A note of apology would have sufficed if he would have done it earlier. So that's pretty funny. Instead, it cost him $100,000. Wow. May 11th, 1983, Bulls Quintin Dailey begins 10-day psychiatric evaluation, and they fire Paul Westhead as the coach as well. Yeah. So Quintin Dailey began a 10-day psychiatric evaluation at the Shepherd and Enoch Pratt Hospital in Baltimore yesterday. The inpatient stay was recommended in December when Dailey suffered severe depression following all that shit here. He was granted a 12-day psychiatric leave from Chicago. Dailey was placed under the care of a therapist who recommended he return to the team, but that he undergo thorough emotional evaluation at the end of the regular season. So I guess that's what this is, a thorough fucking emotional review here. May 31st, 1983, Dailey here has entered drug rehabilitation program.
Oh, now he's using drugs.
That's what this was all about the whole time.
Yeah.
It was about drugs. That's the thing. He might have been sad too, but he's in drug rehab in the same hospital where he was receiving therapy. What? He went in there. Yeah. He's talking to the psychiatrist, and he says, I do coke. And he was like, that's a problem, first of all. You can't have a psychological problem and do coke. So
is that what he's using?
Yeah, we find out he's using coke later on, which, 1983 NBA is kind of ubiquitous at that point. Or sports in general. Jesus Christ, every sport was flooded with it. Look at the Pittsburgh case we covered in a Patreon episode. It was baseball, football, everything. That's what happened. The Chicago Sun-Times quoted an unidentified source on the Bulls here, saying that Dailey was enrolled in a drug rehab program. And they said, we were aware he had a lot of problems, but the feeling was we could wait until after the season to get them taken care of. Most guys who go into programs like that come out okay. Do they really? Most of them ended up, as we know now, they were okay for a minute, and then they'd relapse again because they weren't really doing shit for them. So they said that he's in there for a complete psychiatric evaluation. His agent said it was my understanding that he went into the hospital for emotional problems because of depression. If there are other problems surfacing, I'm glad he's in the right place to receive that treatment. This guy really is earning his fucking 10%. Okay. Let me tell you something, because holy shit. Now, on the court, 76 games he played in. He started 32 games. Averaged 27.4 points a minute, which is big for a rookie. 15.1 points a game, not bad. 3.4 rebounds, 3.7 assists. It's not terrible for a rookie at all, and he earns all rookie honors.
Wow.
He's on the all-rookie team here. June 1st, 83, though, going into the next summer before the next season. The headline here is, will Bulls drop Dailey?
It's a great question.
Yep, they say he may be dropped from the team or traded if his drug rehabilitation program is not successful, the Chicago Tribune reported.
That's crazy that he got himself a drug habit when he already knows how volatile and, I don't know, just how much of a pain in the ass it is to have him around in the first place, and he's going to sprinkle this in there too?
Which this isn't surprising. If he gets blackout drunk to where he's out in the world not remembering what the fuck he's doing,
right?
Most of the people who can do that are alcoholics.
Yeah.
And alcoholics tend to be more open to being addicted to other drugs too. Just statistically that works. So it would make sense. I mean, like biological alcoholic is they do that. Like people who are, their whole family's alcoholics and all that kind of shit. So anyway, I mean, some people can black out without it. Don't get me wrong, but they said he's been in the hospital. He's there. The Rod Thorne, the GM, said when Quintin finishes his program, a decision will be made. Obviously, I know why he's there, but I don't want to infringe on his rights. Mm-hmm. A trade is a possibility, but we'll have to just wait and see. Anytime a player from a team goes to that kind of program, you hope it helps. He's receiving inpatient therapy. The funny part is that they think like if he gets out and he doesn't have coke around his nostrils, then it worked and he's cured and he's fine and he can get back out. Yeah. They don't think like this is something you got to look at over 10 years, whether it worked or not.
And when things get tough, like he's not just going to go back and lean on that again.
It's right there to lean on. Why not? July 20th, 1983, he's sued.
Uh-oh.
He still hasn't started his second fucking year in the NBA yet. Think about this.
Who's suing him?
So much goddamn drama. He lost his Pete Barry, who lost his coaching job when the University of San Francisco dropped the men's basketball program, has sued Sports Illustrated, Time Inc., the Chicago Bulls, and Quintin Dailey.
Who's suing him?
His ex-coach, University of San Francisco coach.
The guy that,
got his job eliminated. Yeah. He's doing this for publishing allegedly false statements about payments to Dailey. That's what he's saying. That didn't happen and it cost me my job, basically. The Superior Court suit contends he's been unable to find work as a basketball coach since his dismissal because he oversaw a corrupt program, allegedly. The university dropped its highly successful program last year in the wake of the Sports Illustrated article in which Dailey said he'd taken close to $5,000 from a Don's booster for a summer job, which he never worked. Dailey told the sports magazine that Barry had passed him $1,000 of the money. That's why. Oh. So this guy's suing, saying that didn't happen. Okay, 83-84 Bulls. Holy shit. 83-84 Bulls here. They go 27-55. Terrible. Kevin Lougherty's the coach here. He's a decent coach on other teams, but not here apparently. Pretty much the same lineup. This is not very good. Put it that way. It's not good. Mitchell Wiggins, it's bad. Things are bad here. Yeah. October 22nd, 1983, Bulls Dailey. Only he can save himself. That's the headline.
Yeah.
One morning last June, Kevin Lougherty entered the green, spacious grounds of the Shepherd and Enoch Pratt Hospital in Townsend, Maryland. It's beautiful there, he said, but under the circumstances, the setting was eerie. He had recently been named coach of the Chicago Bulls and was going to meet one of his standout players for the first time. That's fun.
At the hospital.
I'll go down to the hospital and meet him. I got everybody else on the court. They all took a knee, but this guy, I got to go see him in his fucking lockdown unit here.
Best players.
Holy shit. They said a player who was completing an 8-week treatment for drug abuse. The player was Quintin Dailey. Coach said, I remember sitting down in a room there with Q. He was in regular street clothes and a doctor and a supervisor, and the discussion was very blunt. Coach asked him questions, and he said Q said he was clean, and he said a lot of good things that made you want to believe him, that he had matured and understood where he went wrong. And honestly, I felt sorry for him. I know he was kind of embarrassed to meet me for the first time like this, but a natural reaction is also, is this a con job? Is he just telling me what he thinks I want to hear? You know, like a drug addict?
Yeah.
I've had players try to con me before. Like one guy, he denied right to my face that he drank to excess, but every day he'd take a bottle of vodka up to his room, and this guy kicked the habit. Well, with Q, it all boiled down to, can he overcome his problems? And if he does, he could be one of the best players in the league. He's definitely one of the most talented. Yeah. So Dailey called the whole thing his rookie year, maybe not a nightmare, but something I will never forget.
Right.
He said, I felt like alone. I felt like I was garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah, rape charges will do that to you.
That's kind of the idea, man.
I was scared and didn't want to admit it to myself, and there were people who I knew wanted to help me, but I just wasn't able to open up to anyone. I let them get just close enough to me, and then an invisible sheet of glass went up, and then I snorted a line off of it.
Yeah.
Once it came up, I was like, ooh, that's perfect. Chop, chop, chop.
That is the other thing about what they just compared this to. Like, I knew a guy that could take a bottle of vodka up to his room every night, but he kicked the habit. There's a difference between that hold on you and cocaine.
And cocaine. Cocaine is different. I mean, booze, it's just
drugs
as
and
addictive.
alcohol. It's very similar, yes.
Yeah.
But alcohol is not such that it's just a different thing to kick.
Yeah. I honestly, if you ask me, and people I've talked to, booze is harder to kick because it's everywhere.
Well,
it's very easy to
that.
get a drink. It's Coke you have to look for. You can sit in your house and say, I'm not going to get any Coke, but like you go to any restaurant and they ask you what you want to drink, and you can right there you can blow your whole shit. You know what
Couldn't
I mean?
be more
So that's
obvious
hard.
though when you're drunk versus cocaine.
That's another problem. Yeah, that's true too.
If you're balancing it and not just
normally,
getting obliterated.
I think too, when people start doing Coke, it makes them feel good.
Yeah.
They feel like fucking Superman, and it's pretty good for them for the first little while.
Sure.
Like, it doesn't hurt them. It actually helps them. They do things faster. They are a little more efficient. They do better. But then when
more alert, that's for sure.
Whereas booze, you're never doing any better when you're drunk. You know what I mean? That never happens. It's just a way to, make the pain go away. Whereas
but it also emphasizes your senses with Coke, and you're a much better driver. You know what I mean? You're a much better a lot of things. Where with booze, you will never be a much better driver.
No. And there's a lot of things on Coke you feel like you're doing better.
Yeah.
And so people get into that. And then once they're on it a lot, then you're doing everything much, much worse. But you don't realize it.
You don't see it until you see it.
That's absolutely right. So Dailey said, I know people were saying and writing terrible things about me, and I felt all of it. And I have to be big enough to take responsibility for my actions. Only Quintin Dailey gets Quintin Dailey in trouble.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. Here we go. You better get yourself about 120 stolen bases in a season before you start referring to yourself in the third person here.
Get yourself a ring. Fuck.
Yeah, or a ring. I was just thinking Ricky Henderson style.
Yeah.
He came to the Bulls mid-season rookie camp looking puffy with extra weight. Not an unusual result after drugs are flushed from the system. He now appears trim. Good. Things began to change slowly for Dailey. One moment stands out. A prayer service before a game in mid-season. Julius Dr. J. Irving, the 76ers veteran star, fucking Dr. J was still playing, said, Quintin, how about buying me dinner tonight? And Dailey said, I couldn't believe it. The doc wants to go with me, a superstar asking a young buck, and I didn't really know him very well, but he made me feel like I was accepted, like I was something. We had a good talk. And then one of us went and snorted some Coke afterwards, and it wasn't Dr. J. Dailey said that reading about the similar problems of other players has also given him insight into himself. He said, I thought of the tremendous amount of money they're making, and that it seems that they're just throwing it away, not just to the dopers, but throwing away their futures in basketball too. Where else can they make this kind of money? Nowhere. I thought, they've got to be idiots. Then I realized, hey, I'm one of them.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm a dipshit. Well, these guys got to be stupid. Oh, man, what are we? Hey, hold on a minute.
Then once I got through the Coke, I saw in the mirror.
I was like, wow. All right, December 25th, 1983, Christmas Day.
Yeah.
From the Poughkeepsie Journal, their hometown paper. Dailey back on track, working hard to put his past into perspective. Everybody, I'd like to tell you, he's good now. Okay. This is officially he's good now from the AP. So this article goes to every goddamn newspaper in fucking America. On his way to the top, Quintin Dailey forgot that the law of gravity was his law too. And that talent begets money but does not cushion all of life's falls.
Yeah, that's true.
He hit bottom in December of '82, seduced on one side by drugs, cut deeply on the other side by personal problems. Dailey plunged from the top of the college basketball world to the brink of despair, and all the talent in the world couldn't make him whole. The climb back up consumed nearly a year of his young life, beginning, he says, with the realization last summer that only Quintin Dailey is responsible for Quintin Dailey, quote unquote.
Right.
Quote, I felt like I'd lost myself. I feel like I have that back, but there's a long way left to travel. I can't have half of Q together. Now he's using his own nickname. That's even worse. I can't have half of Q together and have the other half go off and do the same terrible things. I picture he just broke himself into two halves, and he's like, no, you get back here. You got to stay in tonight. Basketball is the center of Dailey's life after a period in which courtrooms, street protests, drugs, and finally physical and emotional therapy made up his world. Talent eased the first great hurt of Dailey's life, the death of his parents within a short time of each other when he was 14, and he had every reason to believe it would do so forever, because when Quintin Dailey wrapped his hands around a basketball, he was invincible. And the respect, the adulation, the gifts accorded Dailey, the basketball star, helped him forget the bitterness, the poverty, and the loss Dailey, the young man, knew. He said, quote, talent will change your mind like night to day. If you fly in an airplane and look down, you see little people. But if you're an athlete, always pampered, always noticed, always catered to, your thinking gets twisted. You get to thinking crazy things like, all those people down there are looking up at you.
Okay.
What the fuck? Yet until the warm June day, Dailey found himself alone in a Maryland clinic being treated for emotional distress and drug dependence. There's always been enough talent and hangers-on to support that line of thought. The Bulls coach, Lockerty, said, it's hard for someone outside our game to appreciate what Q was going through. You see a young kid with money and you think, I'd like to have his problems, but it's not that simple.
Oh.
A kid's maturity's got a lot to do with his background. The really gifted ones like Q grow up and little by little somebody takes over everything for them. Then one day they're on their own. And keeping your head in fast company isn't that easy. You look at the rest of the world and see that.
Yeah. And he's got a lot of money, sure, but he's got a vicious coke habit.
He's got a nasty coke habit, and he's got the money to fucking back it up. And if you're pissed off and you get out of the thing and you have to drive away and people are calling and yelling at you, you can go home, do a bunch of coke, and feel better.
Not think about them for a second.
There you go. So that's how that goes. He says, though, I was arrogant. I put up this front that people couldn't get close to me and no closer. I wanted to stay away from bad people, but I ended up keeping out the good people too.
Right.
Oh, man. He also says, everyone's mind has a curiosity, and this was something I found that I liked. But there comes a time when you've got to say you're stronger than it, you're stronger than it, or it's stronger than you, meaning cocaine.
Cocaine, yeah.
He played well, they're saying, last season. At the end of the season, he began the treatment. He said, there I learned to see things more for what they are, that I thought of myself one way and behaved another, that I had maybe the best job in the whole world, and that if I mess that up, I've got nobody to blame but myself.
There you go.
That's it right there. Unburdened by his drug habit and sleeker and faster because of it, Dailey is playing the best basketball of his career. His numbers speak well, 16 points, 4 assists, but don't reflect the increased leadership role he's taken on the floor. Right. His coach said he's been terrific in every way, working hard all the time and doing everything we've asked of him.
Okay.
March 25th, 84. This is the off season of fluff pieces, or the season of fluff pieces. They're just fluffing him up.
You gotta gas him up to get him going.
Oh, he's so fluffy. He just got out of the dryer. He's got a bounce sheet stuck to him. He is beautiful. Fluffy.
Yeah.
Dailey's bullish on succeeding in Chicago, is what it says, March 24th, 84. And he says, last year was the worst year of my life, but this year is much better. Yeah, talking about the internal pressures. And, he also said that he was a starter for the Bulls at the beginning of the season, but when Chicago went 5-14 in the opening month, his new coach decided to bench him. He didn't like the demotion, but later saw it as a positive move. His response off the bench helped Chicago go on a winning streak and become apparently competitive, which won't last. Right. This is still the season's going. He said, I didn't like not starting at first, but then I got used to it. When you're coming off the bench, you get a better idea of what's going on in the game. You're also coming in fresh against the other team starters. So he said the coach said he wasn't punishing Dailey for any of the off-the-court stuff. He just wanted to have a strong sixth man on the bench.
Okay.
He said, I know every professional player likes to start, but in Quintin's case, it wasn't that he wasn't playing well or anything of the sort. I just wanted a strong guard to come off the bench to give us a lift, and that's what he's done. They said he's had as much playing time as he did last year. That's not even the problem. They said he's worked well with rookie guards, Innes Watley and Mitchell Wiggins, to give the Bulls the youngest backcourt in pro basketball.
Wow.
He said, I kind of give them some tips. He said, I feel like I like the leadership role. Okay. It's all about to end, my friend. It's all about to end. They said the Bulls will answer oft-asked questions concerning his personal life, and he says, I guess I understand it, but I've tried to do some things in the community to show that I care about playing in Chicago. He's made visits to local hospitals and has advised the city's youth about the problems of becoming a professional athlete and the temptations that are involved. He said, Dr. J was the one who showed me what kind of leadership role you can give to younger athletes. When someone like that has the time to try to help you, you listen. And I hope I've been able to pass on some of those things. Wow. He said, I know our crowds haven't been big. That's about to change in the next couple of years. But I know that people are behind me, and I want to see the team do well and myself. I think there are people who want very much to see our team finally succeed. Well, he finally learned how to give a bullshit quote to the newspaper.
Right.
He finally took that Bull Durham Kevin Costner class where he said, one day at a time, and God willing, come out the next day and we'll win again. Like he's finally learned.
Yeah.
Yeah. And God willing. I love when Tim Robbins is right. Hold on a minute. God willing. Yeah. So that's what he said. He's ready to go. USF, by the way, his college, has since decided to reinstate the college basketball program for 85.
Oh.
So in April of 84, another fluff piece, The Long Road Back. And then it says, this thing won't whip me, Dailey says.
Oh.
My God. He said it says in this article, he's still suspicious of strangers. And that encompasses everyone from writers looking for a story about his guilty plea to an attempted rape to the street vermin that would put his name on the back of their drug lists. So that's what drug dealers do.
What a terrible thing to have written about you.
Yeah, that's what drug dealers do, by the way. They have drug lists.
Yeah.
This is my drug list, and they write it all down. Put him on the drug list. That way if I get caught, I'll have everybody's name right there.
Yeah.
He said, maybe that's partially why, against all odds, the Chicago Bulls' second-year guard successfully made it through year one of the straight life and along the way established himself as a coming star in the NBA. Since becoming a starter in mid-March, he's averaged close to 26 points a game, including 44 against the Knicks on Monday night.
Shit.
So, he could fucking play. That's the thing. He said, I definitely had something to prove to a lot of people. I've learned to use some of the avenues open to me. So, yeah, he said, I told Rod Thorne, the GM, that I would like to take a urine test. Because he said that basically he went through a 3-week period of poor play in late January and early February, and Thorne, whose blunt demeanor with Dailey has sparked several lively arguments between the two, quote unquote, accused Dailey of using drugs again. If that were true, it would have meant Dailey's career was finished. He said, I told Rod that I would take a urine test right now. I'll still take one anytime they want me to. To go back on drugs would be to accept defeat, and I won't do that. Why should I mess myself up again? I won't let this thing whip me. That's how stubborn I am. Yeah. But they said that the fact remained that Dailey was pouting during his downtimes as the sixth man. That made Thorne unhappy enough to talk of trading him. Dailey's recent surge, however, has put a trade on hold, at least temporarily. Dailey said, I'm not playing the way I have been out of spite for the way things were going. What? I'm not playing the way I have been out of spite. I'm not playing well just to spite anybody.
Yeah.
I'm doing it for me. I'm a scorer, and I always have been.
That's how I roll.
Yeah, he said there's a lot of guys in this league with more talent than me, but they don't have my heart.
Hey.
That's what he said. He said, that's how you do it. He said, the article says that explains the fact that he won't take the easy way out and claim the memories from college drove him to freebase cocaine. Rather, he'll admit drugs had been a part of his life for a while.
Uh-oh.
That's more like it. He said, my wanting to isolate myself from everyone wasn't a form of drug behavior. The wall was already there. I isolated myself 2 summers ago and nothing could penetrate it. That's just the attitude I had for a long time going back to high school. I found out the hard way that sometimes your friends can turn on you. I was so full of bitterness because of what happened at USF that I wasn't listening to anything people were trying to tell me. I'm a bullheaded, stubborn, whatever you want to call it. Somebody would say something to me and I'd tell them that they weren't my mom or dad, they're dead.
How about it?
Yeah, I was taking drugs last season and I knew I wasn't performing up to my capabilities. I didn't even talk to Rod about it and I considered him to be my best friend. I just put on my Walkman and work on my crossword puzzles. I was numb. I lost all my feelings. I was hurt so bad I didn't feel anything anymore.
Wow.
Okay.
Numb.
He said he missed the games last year. He said people were coming to the games just to cuss me out, to throw things, to picket. The frustration just builds up and builds up until you feel like you're going to kill yourself or you're going to go out and shoot somebody. I just couldn't take it anymore. Before he reached his breaking point, Reggie Jackson tried to help.
Say again?
Fucking Mr.
Reggie.
October
Yeah.
tried to help. Jackson, whose niece Wanda Burton is Dailey's girlfriend, still apparently, ran into a stone wall. He said, Reggie was one of the friends I didn't take advantage of. He tried to help me, but I wouldn't listen. He put his hand out, but I was reaching somewhere else. So he credits Dr. J. He said, he got me at the right time and I listened to him. He said that was for the beginning of his turnaround, but he only consented to enter the hospital after a battle with Bulls management. So, yeah, he said that's what got me on the right track, but it wasn't because he was still fucking up. He said that to Dailey's way of thinking, the doctors didn't do the work. Quintin Dailey did. He said it was more of a teaching tool than anything else. I went through my teenage years without a parent, and I was naive in a lot of ways. They taught me things I should have learned when I was 15, 16, 17. I know doctors aren't going to like this, but drugs start with an attitude, and doctors don't work enough finding out why somebody starts taking them in the first place. Yeah. Dailey's older brother, Tony, who moved in with him last December, has given plenty of support, and most of the crowd abuse Dailey took last year has quieted down. There are the home crowds. He said, I'd love to have the fans in Chicago like me as much as anybody else would, but I know it's never going to be.
Oh.
He said something else that won't happen is his escaping Rod Thorne's scrutiny. He said he's still going to have to prove over a period of time that he's all right, not just for 3 weeks, Thorne said. Bernard King has done it for 4 years, and we know how that work turned out.
Right.
Look back episode of Crime and Sports on Bernard King. But anytime a player who's had the problems he's had, you have to watch him. Dailey said, I'm always going to be looked at like that, and I expect it. You know that song by Rockwell, Somebody's Watching Me, which was a very popular song at the time. Somebody's watching me. That had the Michael Jackson hook. That's why it was popular.
Oh, is that who it was?
That's why it's popular, yeah.
Wow.
Because he's Quincy Jones's son, I want to say, Rockwell. He's either his son or his nephew or something.
Wow.
So for his song, he got Michael Jackson to sing the hook.
Wow.
Which made everyone think it was a Michael Jackson song. They didn't even know it was Rockwell. They thought it was a Michael Jackson song. And it sold lots of records. And then he tried to make another song that didn't have Michael Jackson in it, and the shit didn't work out so well.
Gave a shit.
Yeah. He said, that's what I feel like. I'm the underdog. Somebody's always watching me.
All right.
Okay. Is that really what it is, though?
I don't know.
Are you the underdog?
You can call yourself anything, really. I mean,
You really can be full of shit, but I mean, you've created all of this. You created.
Yeah.
If you take away the rape charge and you take away the coke, he's fine.
Yeah.
Nobody made him go into some chick's room and nobody put coke up his nose. So, or even worse, made him freebase it, which takes effort.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Nobody
crazy.
forced him to do anything that he's in trouble for.
No. And also that means he'd been doing coke a lot longer than a year because
A lot longer, yeah.
you wouldn't be freebasing already.
No.
That takes a little while to get into, whereas snorting it isn't doing it anymore. I need something more harsh. So 83-84, he plays in 82 games, starts 42 of them, 29.9 minutes a game, not bad, 18.2 points a game. That is getting into
really good. Yeah.
elite territory there, and also 2.9 rebounds and 3.1 assists, and 1.3 steals a game too, which is pretty good defense.
Right, yeah.
That's not bad. 1984, July 14th, 1984, Olympians triumph. The U.S. Olympic basketball team defeated a squad of National Basketball Association players 94-78 in a contest punctuated loudly throughout by U.S. coach Bobby Knight's tirades against the officials. So they had a pretty goddamn. They basically had the dream team.
Yeah.
But when they were still in college. It's Michael Jordan, it's Chris Mullin, it's all the same guys that are on the dream team pretty much, except Bobby Knight cut Charles Barkley, even though everybody said he was the best player in the Olympic camp. He cut him because he was fat and had an attitude and didn't like him.
Hilarious.
Chris Mullin of St. John's had 18 points. Alvin Robertson, there's another Crime and Sports alumni, of Arkansas had 13. Michael Jordan of North Carolina had 12. And Sam Perkins, I love Sam Perkins, had 10 for the Olympians. Quintin Dailey of the Bulls led the pros with 17, and Terry Cummings had 15. There you go. Right under that, there's an ad, Jimmy. The storm is breaking.
Is it?
The Buffalo Storm versus the Charlotte Gold in what looks like minor league hockey. Or not hockey, soccer.
Oh.
Yeah. Then it's also WBLK breakdance night down at the game.
Yeah.
That's so 1984. See over 20 groups compete in Buffalo's biggest breakdance preliminary. The top 3 will return for an encore performance at halftime.
Awesome.
3 p.m. the breakdancing begins. 6:05 p.m. is soccer kickoff. Ticket prices $5 for adults, $3 for kids and seniors. Holy shit. 84-85 Bulls, 38-44. Lockery's still the coach. Rod Thorne gets shit canned halfway through this, though. And this is Michael Jordan's rookie year.
Here we go.
They draft Michael Jordan, number, he's drafted high here. Was he 3? Because it was Bowie first. Yeah. They draft him
or
first.
Was it 2?
Was it 2? Because Bowie went, and then was it Bowie Olajuwon him?
There you go. Yeah,
boom. Okay. Because, Akeem, if you can get Akeem, you're getting Akeem too. And no, I don't think they are really all that sorry that they didn't pick Jordan, even though Jordan was great. Obviously, I think Akeem was just as great for the Rockets for a long time.
I don't know that the Rockets could have utilized him as well as they utilized Akeem.
They threw him right in there. So this year, he's drafted at the same position as Dailey.
Yeah.
That's a problem. Because Jordan plays in 82 games this year and starts all fucking 82.
Uh-oh.
He starts 82 fucking games, which means Quintin Dailey has zero starts this year. Not one. 79 games, 0 fucking starts.
Uh-oh.
And Jordan's playing 38.3 minutes a game. It's his position, period. Jordan was Rookie of the Year, All-Star, and 6th in the MVP voting that year. Which is...
that's a threat.
That's a threat. And Quintin was 6th in the 6th Man of the Year voting, because now he's a 6th man.
Uh-huh.
That's all he can be. It's fine. But it's his 3rd year. He wants to be a star. He's not, you know what I mean? This is bad. And October 30th, 1984, in this season, Quintin Dailey absent as Bulls win. Here we go. For the second time since he became a member of the Bulls, guard Quintin Dailey failed to appear for a game, leaving the team's management to try to figure out what had happened to him. What do you think happened to him? I got to guess. He was, as the team's 6th man, scored 25 points to help Chicago win its season opener Friday night, then did not report for last night's game in which the Bulls defeated the Bucks 116-110. Maybe he was just pissed off about fucking Jordan taking over.
Taking his job.
The second game. Yeah, now there's a rookie, and that's all anybody cares about.
Right.
And guess who he is now? That guy we drafted a few years ago.
Yeah, that rapist cokehead.
No, he's not even the attention.
Right.
They said a man identifying himself as Dailey's brother, Tony, called Chicago Stadium about 6 p.m. saying Dailey had overslept and would be there late. Then at 7 p.m., a similar call came saying Dailey was sick and would not be at the game. You cannot have your brother call you into an NBA game.
Call me into the Chicago Bulls. Call me in sick.
This is not a shift at Waffle House. We're playing a game tonight. This is wild.
Deal. Yeah.
Thorne said, "We don't know what happened or what's going on. We want to find out, not just for the good of the team, but for Dailey himself." They said the Bulls did fine without Dailey. Rookie Michael Jordan scored 22 of his game-high 37 points in the final quarter to rally the Bulls from a 6-point deficit.
Oh, no.
He did it from the beginning.
Yeah.
Yep. It is too early to tell how good Michael Jordan is or is going to be, but tonight he sure had the hot hand, guard Sidney Moncrief said of the Bucks. I think he did something that few players can do upon entering the league, and that is to study his opponents and learn by their mistakes, Moncrief added. And Coach Don Nelson of the Bucks said, "We did everything we could to stop Jordan, but our double-teaming efforts proved futile."
Yeah.
He was dominating from fucking jump.
He's too good already.
Yep. October 31st, 1984, Halloween, troubled Dailey, depressed again is the new headline here. He missed one game and a team flight because of unspecified personal problems. Dailey, who failed to show up for the team's game in Chicago against Milwaukee on Monday night, played 14 minutes in the Bulls' 109-104 NBA victory Tuesday night over the Kings. The guard scored 8 points on 4 of 10 shooting from the floor. On Tuesday morning, Dailey missed the Bulls team flight to Kansas City. He took an afternoon flight to Kansas City after meeting in Chicago with Vice President and Operating Officer Jonathan Kovler and General Manager Rod Thorne. Dailey had no comment on his absences, but Thorne said Dailey's reason for missing the game and the flight, quote, had been building up for some time. Thorne said the team allows absences for dire emergencies, and in Quintin's mind, he had a dire emergency. They said he has been fined substantially, the coach said. He had personal problems not related to drugs or alcohol. Okay. I don't know about that here. We'll talk about it. His lawyer slash agent, Wolf here, said that he talked to him and described the conversation as personal and said, hopefully this won't happen again. I know Quintin just wanted to get back to playing. He doesn't need any more turmoil in his life. Mm-hmm. No, he fucking doesn't. November 6, 1984. Here's Dailey again. They say Dailey bolts the bullpen. Pen in two separate words. Yeah. This is an article here. They say, quote, nobody asked me, but aren't the Chicago Bulls praying they can find a way to keep Quintin Dailey tightly wrapped in the face of some pretty bad odds? Dailey has already gone AWOL once this season, and the Bulls insist drugs had nothing to do with it. The problem with the troubled guard this time is his inability to deal with the publicity Michael Jordan is receiving. Literally broke his fucking brain. Because in college, he's the star. In high school, he's the star. He shows up, first-round draft pick, all attention on him. They're picketing him outside. Even negative attention, it's attention. Now it's like, do we still have him?
How long did Michael Jordan play at North Carolina? Was it 1 year? Or 2 years, or did he play 4?
He definitely didn't play 4.
No way, right?
He came out early, yeah.
Yeah.
So he came out early.
So he
was a freshman when Worthy was a senior.
Okay. All right.
Because that big shot he hit in that tournament game, that was as a freshman. That was the end of his freshman year. And,
so he probably played at least 2 years. But my point is that when he got drafted, Jordan was at North Carolina just starting his career there. Yeah. So he didn't compete with him much in college. So when he got drafted, Jordan wasn't even a thing yet. No. But
he was an All-American. Jordan was a freshman.
Right. So it was a blink. So he fucked up. Dailey makes one mistake. I mean, it's a big mistake. But he made a big mistake in college, which led to a little bit of ugly for a while in his first year in the NBA. And now Jordan's killing it in college at this point.
Oh, yeah. He came out, I mean, he was the guy.
Yeah.
Unless they had two gigantic big men that went first, and back then you went for a big man first. If it wasn't for them, he was definitely number 1 overall.
So now he's killing it in college, and now Dailey's already made mistakes and put himself behind the 8 ball, and the Bulls are in a position to draft the best player in the NBA history.
While Jordan was getting better and better those years in college, he
Quintin's
was fucking up.
Making mistake after mistake after mistake.
Yep, that's it.
Man, the tragedy, it's just so goddamn sad.
And now he's jealous, which is not good.
No.
That's bad. That's going to eat your ass up inside,
you can't
man.
play and contribute at a level of professional when you're jealous
No,
of
when
the
you're
guy.
angry at the guy on your team who's scoring the most points. That's not going to work.
And took your position. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like a opening comic being mad at the headliner because he's crushing and that's his spot. It's like, well, I don't know. What do you want,
Fuck.
You don't want him to be funny? So the article goes on to say, sure, it sounds juvenile, but those closest to the team swear that's the problem and they don't think it's funny. Dailey has agreed to see a psychologist, not a psychiatrist, in an attempt to resolve his problems, which have him a step out of beat with everyone else in an attempt, some say, to gain attention, too. That's a bad way to gain attention. Passing through Chicago on my way to Cleveland, I sat in on the Dailey phenomenon, meaning Quintin Dailey, not everyday Dailey, during Monday's Bulls practice. He was the last man out of the locker room, skipped shooting practice. While his teammates did stretching exercises, he walked over and began working on the cycling machine, joined them briefly for stretching, then began isometrics against a wall. When the rest of the team began isometrics, he picked up a basketball and dribbled away from the crowd. The writer for the team that covers them every day said, a typical morning for Quintin.
Yeah.
He's a dick.
Wow.
He's a whiny,
He's not going to get better.
No, he's a malcontent, period.
Yeah.
So let's leave it right there. He's upset.
Jesus.
Jordan just showed up. He's only been in the league 2 years, guys. This is fucking crazy. This is only his third year in the league. This is insane. So there's a lot going on with Quintin Dailey. Plenty more coke, plenty more problems.
What a fascinating fella.
Plenty more being good now. Plenty more of everything coming your way here.
Never heard of him.
It's wild, isn't it? So, yeah, he's going to fucking start attacking the Bulls coaches when we come back next time, which is a lot of fun. I can't wait for that. That always goes well.
Yeah.
That not only endears you to them, it really endears you to the other teams that might be interested in you too, because they want a guy who's going to yell at them all the time and call them assholes. So anyway, there you go, everybody. That's Quintin Dailey, part 1.
Yeah.
I think we've come out of the gate pretty hot here with Quintin. He's an asshole at this point in time.
It's a party. Fuck.
He's a fucking party. So, definitely tune back in for the next part, at least one more part, if not 2. So tune back in for those and hang out with us by doing that. Give us 5 stars on whatever app you listen on. It really, really helps a lot. Check us out there. Also follow on social media at Crime and Sports. Definitely listen to our other 2 shows, Small Town Murder and Your Stupid Opinions. You can even watch Small Town Murder on Netflix, damn it. Check it out.
It's unbelievable.
And yes, absolutely. Then head over to shutupandgivememurder.com and get yourself tickets.
Yeah.
What else? Also merchandise, but tickets. Get tickets. We want tickets to live shows here this weekend in Denver on May 2nd on Saturday night. Few tickets left for that. A couple left for Royal Oak, Michigan on May 30th. And then after the summer, Milwaukee, Minneapolis, Dallas, San Jose, Sacramento, Tarrytown, and Boston. If we're going to be near you, you probably want to come out and hang out and see us. So do that. Shutupandgivememurder.com. You should absolutely get Patreon. My Christ, should you get Patreon? Patreon.com/crimeinsports, just like the name of this show. Anybody $5 a month or above, you get everything. First of all, you get every show we put out ad-free. Not the bonus episodes, everything ad-free. The regular episodes, everything, all ad-free. You get that. You get, as soon as you subscribe, hundreds of back bonus episodes you've never even heard before, never even saw that existed before, maybe. Immediately upon subscription, tons of good stuff there, almost 400 episodes. Then you get new ones every other week, 1 Crime and Sports, 1 Small Town Murder, and you get it all. Yes. This week, what you're going to get for Crime and Sports, it is personal ad time again.
Oh, yeah.
Let's find out how people used to try to find each other in newspapers. just sending it out into the ether and hoping something comes back there. It's good. They're so much fun to go over 70s or 80s, 90s, 2000s newspapers. Then for Small Town Murder, it is a poll. You have a choice. It's up to you. We are either going to do the False Prophet new FLDS documentary.
What a doc, yeah.
Which is a wild documentary if you haven't seen it yet. It's worth it just to see an idiot think he's like a parkour hiker when he's just a fat guy trying to run up a hill. That's very fun.
He's so out of breath.
Oh, he's a mess. With his sausage fingers. It's either that or Internet Salad, which is we go and find everything all across the internet, anything that's out there that's going on currently that we just want to talk about and make fun of, besides politics, because I feel like there's enough shows out there where you could probably get your fill of that.
Yeah.
So we leave that alone. But you guys, it's up to you. And either way, we're going to do the next one for the next Patreon. So
terrific.
Either way, do that. So come hang out with us. That is patreon.com/crimeinsports. And in addition to all of that, you get a shout out at the end of the show, which is right now. Jimmie, hit me with the most wonderful, wonderful people in the world who would never, ever be jealous of us coming in and being the best player in the league. Hit me with it right fucking now.
This week's executive producers are Christy Miller, Addie Murphy. Thank you so much. Gary Howard in Scranton, PA. Happy hours in.
Poor bastard, Gary.
Yeah.
Scranton's a shithole. Good luck.
Happy hours in Splendora, Texas. One of these days, those guys are going to be in the same town. Talena Jensen can't make it to. I think it was Denver. That's a bummer. Thank you so much for donating. Anyway, Talena,
thank you.
David Magruder, Sean Blank, and Christine Trowinski. Thank you all so much for being a part of this. Other producers this week are Peyton Meadows, Janice Hill, Mandy with no last name, Hallie Smith, Joseph Monroe, Kim Frialdenhoven. She has 2 patrons. Make sure that you did that right for me, Kim, in case you only need one.
Yeah. We don't want to take more than you want to give. So that's
Luke Ross, Kareem Moussalet, Rich Duffy, Robert Aguin, is that a Q? Aquina Naga?
Not gonna work here.
Aquina not going to work here anymore. Beth Gould, Brooks Jones, J. Buddy Jones, James Parker, Jacob Whitford, Kristin O'Shea, Rebecca Carrier, Fred Woodward, Brian and Nicole, Brody Boardman, Perry Holbrook, Cassandra O'Brien, Sydney, Craig, or is that Sidnet? It's probably Sydney. I don't know anybody named Sidnet. Miranda Cross. That is Cost. Kathy with no last name. Braden R. Chris Nett. Alexa Shoemake. She only makes one.
Maker.
She only does it one time. I make a shoe.
Hey, listen, I'm not a shoemaker over here or anything.
I only make.
I made a shoe. I make one shoe.
Taylor Zito, probably Chuck's daughter or son.
Course.
Who knows? Taylor's that's universal.
I can go
Trevor Gellert, Lizzie Angel Bo Dewin, Kate Frashella, Raylyn Pointer, Chelsea Rodak, Lindsay Douglas, Danielle McGahan, Nicole with no last name, Kim Goodrich, Danielle G, Sarah Martin, Chadisha Al, Josh with no last name, Slitty with no last name, that's gross, Claberlin with no last name, Jenna Mooney, Andy Glosser, Laura with no last name, Nancy Mercer, Jesselyn Reckinger, Allison with no last name, Jennifer with no last name, Christy Butler, Teresa with no last name, Sean Schmitz, Alicia Colley, Frank with no last name, Brantley Daniels, Becky with no last name, Sarah Hurt, Kimberly Barnett, Adam Seal, Tim Baldwin, Kimberly Dinelan, what is it? Dinelan.
I said he's on a roll.
He is. He's moving along.
Like rooting you on.
Laura Abbott.
Run, Forrest, run. You got this.
MME. Jen Walker. Andrea Sinsmeyer Weiser. Kathy Roeder. Jody Bose.
OJ, go.
Justin Oller. Lorraine with no last name, Thea with no last name, Ryan Hunley, Eric Stagg, Robin Brown, Samantha Ashby, Christina S., Cynthia Chapin, Chapin, Sean with no last name, Laura Louise, Cassandra Bennett, Lauren Wilder, yep, like Jean, Mary Swain, Rich Went, like the guy from Cheers, Maha Rostberg, Bernadette with no last name, Fatal Badaldi, Fatal Balde, Mike with no last name, Elizabeth Hunter, Mike Shields, Jordan Summers, Melissa Prutzman, Douglas Daniels, Casey Daniels. Oh, that's probably two in the same family. Billy Young, Aaron Ridgely,
Nice.
Heather Ovesen, Lisa Berceau, Thaddeus, it's probably Thaddeus Pacheco, Carrie with no last name, Candace Page, Connor Hancock, Bree Brandt, Michael Shearer, Alexander, holy fucking Cola Show.
That's a crazy name, Alexander. Holy fuck.
Kaka. It's probably Coach. Kakaleov. Tiffany Gonzalez, Dale Cassius, Cassius, Eric Hunt, Wrong Solid. I don't know what that means. Rebecca Matanle, Sam Hamrick. Oh, it's Hamrick. Nicole Schrader, Finn Latozel, Christine Damarsky, Kelby Cohen, Stephanie with no last name, Tanya with no last name, Not a Grim Karen, Scott Brown, Rich with no last name, Tyree Brunetti, Victoria with no last name, Reagan Ann Jarek, Joe with no last name, Susie Action Doll, Thomas Jackson Hardiman, Hannah Werner, Aja LaRue, Asia, right? AJA is Asia.
I guess. That's
Caleb
how Steely
McNutt,
Dan pronounced it.
Athena and the Owl, Jerry Neshy, Jordan Schultz, Malcolm Allen, Luke M, Melissa Coleman, Kristen Lewis, Ian B, John Henry, probably not that one, right? But maybe.
Maybe. No, doubt it.
Deette. Really? Deette? D-E-E-T-T-E. Capital E. Deette Bullock.
Yeah, cool name.
Anna Allen, Dolores Willoughby, Jen Myers, Ken with no last name, Michelle Arazaga, Bree with no last name, Shanna Gamble, Hannah Rose, Heidi Samsel, Courage Kusena. That's fun. Sean, that's fun to say. Shauna Penrod, Danette K, Amy Rutgers, Chris Patterson, like New Jersey. Melissa Gaddis, Angela Cassidy, Michelle Boylard, and all of our patrons. You're the best.
Thank you so much, everybody. God damn it, you're fucking awesome. We appreciate every goddamn thing that you do for us. Thank you so much. We really, really hope you're enjoying what we're throwing down for you on there. And just thank you for being part of the squad here. We appreciate the shit out of you. Keep coming back and seeing us. You want to find us on social media, shutupandgivememurder.com, the newly designed shutupandgivememurder.com. You can find everything you need on all the menus they have there. So do that. Keep coming back and seeing us. And live from the Crime and Sports Studios, we will see you next week.
Bye.